My name is Brian Craig, and you are listening to The Brian Craig Show. Welcome, one and all. A story that should be the lead story, but is buried beneath the headlines on the few publications that have the story. In fact, the only place I've seen this story today is in the Daily Mail. And listen to this headline: Pam Bondi moves into secure military housing amid threats from cartels and outrage over the Epstein files. And I'm going to go through this story in a few minutes, but this is off the top of my head. I have an article here. I'll go through it later. I read this article when it first came out a while ago, and I'll revisit it. But living on military bases, we have Pam Bondi, Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of the Army, Driscoll. They wanted Kristi Noem to do it, but she turned it down, probably because of her little situation with Corey Lewandowski. But when in the past have you ever known cabinet members to have to live on military bases? When have you ever heard this before? I've never heard of this before. This is something that is unique. It's something that is new to the second term of President Trump. And it really goes to show you what the left are all about, what the Democrats are all about, and the Never Trumpers are all about. I've never heard of such things happening. This story with Pam Bondi, I want to start with it. And then I have a story from Axios that was a little while back that I covered when it happened. I have a date on it. It was back in October when the first reporting of this came out. But let's go through what's going on with Pam Bondi first. This is in the Daily Mail. Pam Bondi has moved into a secure military base due to an increase in threats over the Jeffrey Epstein case and the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The Attorney General became the latest member of the Trump administration to move from a private residence in Washington to a military facility. Bondi left her apartment in Washington, D.C. to an unknown military base in the region within the past month, the New York Times has reported. A spokesperson for Bondi confirmed, by the way, this story that's in the Daily Mail is on my X at Brian Craig Show, as is the original story in Axios from October. Bondi joins a whole host of Trump administration officials who have moved into military housing during his second term. Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, and Marco Rubio, now Pam Bondi, all currently live in government facilities in addition to departing Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem. So Kristi Noem has actually moved into military housing too. She originally turned it down. They have her in military housing. So we have Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, Kristi Noem, and Pam Bondi. That's 4 cabinet officials. Stephen Miller is his chief of staff, our deputy chief of staff, right? Susie Wiles is the White House chief of staff. Stephen Miller is the deputy White House chief of staff. And it's not just them that have to move. It's their families as well. So it's Stephen Miller and his wife. It's Marco Rubio and his wife. Government officials living in military accommodations was extremely rare until recently, they write in the Daily Mail. Defense Secretary Robert Gates lived in Navy housing when he served under Bush and Obama. Mike Pompeo did under the first Trump administration. Noem said last year she paid fair market rent for her home, but blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on and on. So what's going on here? Why are so many Trump cabinet officials and Stephen Miller, who's a senior advisor to the president, why are they living in government housing? You know why? Because Democrats are dangerous. Because Never Trumpers are dangerous. They've tried to assassinate the president multiple times. They assassinated Charlie Kirk, and their lives are in danger. I've never heard of such a thing before. Never heard of such a thing before. And you know what? You haven't either. And this country has been through a lot of terrible times and a lot of wars and a lot of conflict. They're not living in military housing because of the war. This has been going on for 5 or 6 months. The first reporting of this was in Axios in October. This isn't even going on because of the cartels. It's going on because of the Democrats, the Never Trumpers, and Antifa. And I'll tell you something. There was a story, I guess a week or so ago, about the rash on the president's neck. Did you see this? The story's kind of disappeared. Have you noticed? When people first saw that on his neck, it was all over the news, and then it disappeared. And I think I know why it disappeared. I don't think it was a rash. I've noticed with President Trump in the last couple of weeks, when he's speaking in front of these podiums, a lot of times you see him slouching more than you would normally slouch. You see him holding on to the podiums a little bit more, and he's slouching sometimes quite a bit. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the president is slouching more and holding on to these podiums? Do you know why? It's because he's wearing more body armor than he normally would. I really noticed this late last week. He had a press conference at the White House with the soccer team from Miami. Remember that? And I saw him slouching a lot there. And then I was looking at his clothing. Not only is he wearing more body armor, he probably is wearing the Kevlar suit. You know, this kind of started during the Obama era. They developed suits for the president that are lined with Kevlar. They're very heavy, plus the body armor underneath. And the slouching that you're seeing of President Trump, I believe, is the weight of the body armor that he's wearing. And when I saw him slouching at the White House with the soccer team, I thought, my Lord, he's wearing body armor inside the White House? Pretty scary, huh? And I don't think that was a rash on his neck. I think that it was the rubbing of the body armor on his neck. That's what I think, from the slouching, and that's what I think that was. And I believe that's why the media stopped talking about the neck rash, because the White House press corps got wind that it was the body armor rubbing on his neck that caused that irritation on his neck. The threats that the president and this cabinet are under are the threats that you go through for making America great again. And I know there's an elevated threat for the last week or so because of the major combat operations with Iran. But I really don't believe that the cabinet members have been living in military housing, including Pam Bondi now, because of Maduro or the cartels. I believe they're hiding them out from Antifa. And I'll tell you another thing. No doubt, you know, Kristi Noem, she initially turned down the military housing. Now she's living in military housing. And they're all doing this for their protection, right? Kristi Noem was fired as Secretary of Homeland Security, and he gave her this new job leading the Sword of the Americas. And then when he had his press conference over the weekend in Doral, remember this? I covered this on the program. It was over the weekend in Miami at Doral. And he brought up on stage Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio to talk about the Sword of the Americas, but not Kristi Noem, who was there. And I thought that was a slight. And that then this morning, when I saw this story that Pam Bondi has moved to military housing for her safety from the Never Trumpers, from the Antifa, from the Democrats, I started thinking this. Maybe President Trump no doubt fired Kristi Noem, right? This other job is not a real job. If that was a real job, she would have been on stage with Hegseth and Marco with the president at the press conference announcing it. I think President Trump gave her that job so that legally she still qualifies for the military housing. I think her life is in such danger with the rest of these cabinet members to keep her safe, he has to keep her on the military bases, and he has to keep her working for the president to do that, and that's why he gave her that job. She's been fired, and he's plenty pissed at her for the reasons we've talked about. But he wants to keep her safe, so he has to keep her working for the president, and that's why he gave her the job. The job is less than a figurehead job. It's a job so that she qualifies to live on the military bases. In my opinion, I think that's what's going on. Now, I am, okay. Now, I'm very open to your thoughts on this. All right? Very open to your thoughts on this. I've never heard of this before. Now, the couple of examples they gave, defense secretaries sometimes live on military housing just because they can, and they do. They don't live on it for security reasons. It's like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs lives on a base in D.C., stuff like that. For cabinet, and it's not just the cabinet members and Stephen Miller, who's not a cabinet member, just a senior advisor, deputy chief of staff. It's their families, right? Their spouses, their significant others, and maybe even their children. And remember, Stephen Miller, his wife's pregnant, and they're going through this. This is unprecedented, and it's all because of the left. It's all because of the left, right? And they want to call MAGA. They want to call the right. They want to call conservatives violent and all these things. It's always them on the left, not us. It's them. Oh, I don't want to hear about January 6th. That's a bunch of nonsense. So, those of you that are liberal really need to reevaluate yourselves, your party, and your movement. See, this is how liberals have always been, but things are amped up now. Liberals believe that if you disagree with them, you should be dead. I mean, that's just it. They believe that if you're not on their side, you should be dead. And they don't miss an opportunity to try to make that happen. So, I mean, what do you have to say for yourselves? What do you have to say for yourselves? This story about Pam Bondi and the others living on the military bases in D.C. for their own safety is being reported by liberal sources. Axios, the New York Times, and the Daily Mail, all Trump-hating publications, and they're reporting this. The reason this isn't a major headline everywhere is because they don't want you to know how evil and dangerous the never-Trumpers and the liberals are. It's very scary, and it's wrong. If this was happening to the left in power by the right, we wouldn't allow it. We would stand up against it. But we're honorable people that are decent, unlike the liberals that are tyrants. And, part of the issue is that the left are fading out of existence, right? Their whole movement is falling apart. And because their movement is falling apart, they're in this caged animal mentality where they're becoming more dangerous and more unpredictable all the time. All right, now if you have any thoughts on this, your calls are certainly welcome. If you're watching live, the number is pinned in the live stream, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. If you're just tuning in, Pam Bondi, it's being reported today, has had to move into military housing, and now we have a bunch of the Trump cabinet living in military housing for their safety. Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, their entire families, and Stephen Miller and his pregnant wife are all living on military bases around in the D.C. area for their own safety, protecting them from, the liberals. And you hear when I talk to some of these guys on the phone. Now, There was some testimony in Congress this week, didn't get much publicity. Listen to this about the illegals.
Sanctuary states typically have other policies that attract illegal settlement and thus burden taxpayers with support of illegal immigrants. Besides funding emergency health care and schooling for all, a number of sanctuary states go farther and choose to provide Medicaid, subsidized health insurance, nutrition assistance, housing, and much more. Illegal immigrants use these welfare programs in large numbers. My organization has found that over 60% of illegal alien-headed households are using at least one form of welfare program, and usually more than one, at a cost of tens of billions of dollars to taxpayers. This is why any resources spent on immigration enforcement actually save taxpayer money in the long run.
Wow. 60% of illegals are receiving at least one form of welfare. They're not legally eligible to receive any welfare. You got to wonder, here we are, it's tax time. Paying your taxes, filing taxes, owed taxes. You pay your taxes out of your paycheck every week. How many weeks a year or how many months a year are you working just to set up these illegals in these blue states? And this is why Dollar Store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, and others are in such a panic over the Save America Act. They give these people these benefits in in exchange for their support. And with the Save America Act requiring photo ID and citizenship requirement for voting, and you heard Dollar Store Obama, Hakeem Jeffries, this week was in a panic talking about ICE officers being at voting locations. I mean, why would he be worried about that? Why would ICE be at voting polls? Legals can't vote. Non-citizens can't vote. That'd be the last place you would think ICE would go to find illegals, right? Well, that's not the case. They're in a panic. They're in a panic. You look at the modern day Democrat Party. Democrats have always been evil, okay? Their evil has never stopped. I mean, from the days that the Democrats were the plantation owners and the slave owners and the Confederates to the lynchers were Democrats, the Klan were Democrats, all of it, all the evils of the Democrat Party. They're evil. They've always been evil. Just their evil doing changes from time to time, right? They don't do the same evil all the time. They switch it up a little bit. And their current evil is they're taking billions upon billions of dollars and supporting illegals with it. I mean, look at what happened with the Somali pirates in Minnesota. Over 80% of them on some form of welfare. Now we're finding out that a minimum of 60% of illegals in this country are receiving at least one form of welfare, which means a lot of them are receiving multiple forms of welfare. How many of you have never received any type of welfare that are U.S. citizens who have worked your whole life? I haven't. Have you? No. So why are they over here? And the welfare for people that are illegals, they come from these villages that don't even have electricity and plumbing inside their huts, okay? The Section 8 housing and the welfare they receive is enough for them. That's the lap of luxury. You or I may say, well, how could you live off that? Well, you have a different standard and expectation for your lifestyle than they do. And they're very comfortable living. And what a lot of people like this do is they'll have one apartment or one home that they're renting or wherever they're at. And they'll have multiple illegals in the house, each getting the welfare. So it's not like one form of welfare in each illegal household. There could be 5 or more illegals, each receiving welfare in one house. Combining the welfare resources together, their household may be bringing in more money than yours. And you know what? They don't have to work for the welfare. They never worked for it, and they don't have to work now. They got their Section 8 housing, They got their Medicaid. They got their kids in school, so they got daycare all day. All this is for free. And these are stories that just don't get reported.
Sanctuary states typically have other policies that attract illegal settlement and thus burden taxpayers with support of illegal immigrants. Besides funding emergency health care and schooling for all, a number of sanctuary states go farther and choose to provide Medicaid, subsidized health insurance, nutrition assistance, housing, and much more. Illegal immigrants use these welfare programs in large numbers. My organization has found that over 60% of illegal alien-headed households are using at least one form of welfare program, and usually more than one, at a cost of tens of billions of dollars to taxpayers. This is why any resources spent on immigration enforcement actually save taxpayer money in the long run.
Insane, huh? I know. It's got to aggravate you. It aggravates me. It's crazy. Right now is tax time. They're always talking about the Democrats, always talking about the national debt. How much of the national debt is because of illegals?
Sanctuary states.
Now, of course, the Democrats, they'll deny all of this, right? They'll deny all of this, and they'll tell you that it's not true, but it is true. I was talking to some callers on the program yesterday about the Save America Act requiring government-issued photo ID to vote and proof of citizenship. And a couple of liberals called in and said, well, don't you have to show ID to vote? I said, yeah, but, I'm in a red state. Not every state requires government-issued photo ID to vote. And if you look at the last election, and you guys can do your research on this on your own, and you'll see, President Trump won the majority vote, right? And he won all the battleground states. But Kamala Harris did win some states. Not enough, thankfully. Could you imagine if Willie Brown's girlfriend, that wino incompetent, was running the country right now? Oh, my goodness. This hat and shirt I'm wearing right now would be illegal. Kamala Harris won some states. The states that she won were the states that do not require photo ID to vote. The states President Trump won are the states that require photo ID to vote. In fact, Kamala Harris did not win a single state that requires photo ID. That's right. Kamala Harris did not win a single state that requires photo ID to vote. What does that tell you? Everything you need to know about the Democrats. But the Democrats, and even the trolls that are in my chat room and such on the different platforms, they'll tell you and want you to believe that the Democrats represent the majority of the people. That is not the case. Now, that may have been true during the Roosevelt era, but it has not been true for a long time. In fact, if you look over the years, there's been huge waves of conservatives and Republicans running this country in the White House. But no, it's just that Democrats have been overrepresented in media, not just news, but in film and television and such. And since they're overrepresented, they seem more popular than they are. So why did Kamala Harris only win states that do not require state-issued photo ID? Why did Kamala Harris not win a single state that requires photo ID to vote? That's exactly right. And you know what? Democrats, the few Democrats that are left, they don't care. They're tyrants. They're dangerous. That's why Pam Bondi and Pete Hegseth and Driscoll, the Secretary of the Army, and Stephen Miller and the great Secretary of State Marco Rubio are living in military housing for their own personal safety because Democrats are dangerous. That's right. They're very dangerous. In fact, they're evil. When's the last time a Democrat, as a party, when's the last time the Democrat did something that was good? When's the last time they did something that was good for the people of this country? Can you think of one? Really good. Did something good. I don't mean an idea that sounded good. I mean actually put a policy in that was good. Can you think of one? I can't. All right, now listen. I just got a text. Mike, the board op's running a little late, so the radio show is starting late. We're supposed to be on the radio now. This is still the pre-show. We're not on the radio yet, but you're welcome to call in. The number is toll-free no matter where you are watching, and it's pinned in the live chat. The number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Now, remember that the pre-show, the early show, and the entire program and all my content is brought to you by the great Mike Lindell at MyPillow. It's free shipping right now going on. And I want to tell everyone about the MyPillow mattress toppers. The mattress topper, the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper is life-changing. My wife and I have been sleeping on our 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for years. We have it on our bed in our guest room. It is life-changing. It turns your entire bed into a MyPillow. It really does. It is life-changing. These make great gifts, by the way. Mother's Day is coming up. Get Mom a 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper for her day. It's a gift she'll have for years to come. She'll love it. It's life-changing. In fact, the most life-changing product of all, next to the pillow that started it all. So we'll take a quick break and be right back.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
That's right, and it's promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E at MyPillow.com. Free shipping and huge savings on the MyPillow mattress toppers. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. So Caroline Leavitt, she was talking and asked about the Save America Act yesterday. And you can tell she's pregnant too. They're having a baby boom at the White House. And Caroline Leavitt, she made a great point. She's talking about the Save America Act. This is Caroline Leavitt's press conference at the White House yesterday.
Media. Let me be very clear. The Save America Act does not prohibit anyone from voting with the exception of illegal aliens. And the greatest way to disenfranchise American citizens from voting in American elections.
By the way, can any of you Democrats take issue with that? The Save America Act does not prevent anyone from voting except illegals. Right? You have to be a citizen, legally eligible, 18, all that.
Media. Let me be very clear. The Save America Act does not prohibit anyone from voting with the exception of illegal aliens. And the greatest way to disenfranchise American citizens from voting in American elections is to allow illegal aliens to vote, which is what Democrats want to do. We see it taking place in Democrat jurisdictions at the state and local level across this country. So the Save America Act corrects that. And as far as married women who have changed their name, if they're already registered to vote, they're entirely unaffected by the SAVE Act. And for the small fraction of individuals who have changed their name or their address, they can still register to vote, of course. They just have to go through their state processes to update that documentation. And this is something that the American people, married women, and minorities, and people all across this country who Democrats are insultingly saying cannot do this, they're already doing it every day, going to the Social Security office, going to the DMV. And I think it's frankly insulting that the Democrats are saying that there are certain groups of people in this country who aren't smart enough to update their documentation to allow them to vote. Again, this is a huge myth, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to address it.
Yeah, she's good, isn't she? She is. Caroline Leavitt, without question, is the greatest and best White House press secretary that has ever been in either party. Definitely for us. And we've had some good ones. Tony Snow, McEnany and a few, but she is the best by far. And you notice when Caroline Leavitt's talking, she doesn't have to go to notes, right? She just knows. She's well-read, well-versed, like I am. And she just goes off the top of her head, and she fillets them every single time. Now, this is absolutely amazing what I want to show you guys. By the way, if you're new to the channel, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe, and please like the video, guys. Like the video. Liking the video helps get the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. So liking the video helps a lot, and if you have the hype option and you help out with that, that helps a lot too. This war that President Trump is finishing with Iran is really bringing China to its knees. China is a big old country, but they do not have oil. That's why they always have this big electric vehicle push, right? Most of the electric car nonsense is pushed by China. They've been buying off politicians around the world to push it because they don't have oil. They want everybody off of oil using electric vehicles as possible. And China, it's amazing that they have so little oil, right? They have been getting oil basically at cost from both Iran and Venezuela. Well, we control Venezuela, and we've cut off the oil from Iran. And look at this. This is a gas line. It's leaked out in China. Look, they have police there. And it's being reported that there are gas lines. It's like the 70s here with Carter. Gas lines miles long throughout China. Look at this. There's the gas station. And I've been in those long gas lines after hurricanes in Florida over the years, and that's like an all-day event. There's a major oil shortage, a major gas shortage going on in China right now. And it's because of President Trump. He's bringing them to their knees. And it's about time after what they did to the world, and you know what I'm talking about. And they've been doing terrible things to our country and others for a long time. And President Trump is cutting off their oil, cutting off their gasoline. And look at that. Miles of gas lines throughout China. Isn't that crazy? Look at that. Whoever took this video is risking their life. Video inside China. And I know some of you probably have been in massive gas lines in your life. You're in a line like this. You're there for hours and hours and hours, and then they don't have any gas left, right? They don't have enough gas at a gas station to fuel up all these vehicles. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Is it Wednesday where you are?
Well, yeah. Where do you think I am? Yeah, where do you think I am?
I can't get you on my station, on my radio.
Yeah, the board op is late to the radio station, and I'm at my own studio today, so I'm waiting for him to get there to switch us on the radio.
Oh, okay. I thought something happened. Thank God.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. I know. I appreciate it.
I'll be listening.
All right, take care. Yeah, you know, we are the only radio show anywhere when there's a technical issue or an issue like we're having right now, where people in the audience call in and ask about the show. Most people just turn the station or turn it off, right? So I appreciate when you guys do that. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. He said he would be there around this time, so hopefully he'll show up soon. Hold on. I have this book I keep in the studio that I use. My phone in my studio here, I prop up a little bit, and I always put it on. I didn't do it today. I'm going to do it now. I have this incredible book that everyone should read, Undaunted Courage by Stephen E. Ambrose. He wrote Band of Brothers, and this is about Lewis and Clark. It's a great book. I've read this book twice, and it tells you so much about Lewis and Clark that you never knew. And I always put the phone on top of it just to prop it up a little bit. There we go. Okay. For the studio. Okay. Mike the Board Op just sent me a text. He said he just got to the radio station and stand by. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll stand by. And let me take another call while we're waiting. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? No, it's going to be one of those days. Okay, all right. Now, the rest of you on hold, hang in there. I'm not going to take any calls until we get on the air. So he's getting there and setting us up, and then I got to open the show. And then when I open the show, we'll get into more. Okay, hold on, guys. This is what happens when you're live, right? Okay, all right, he said he just got there and to stand by. And that's what I'm doing. I'm standing by. Okay. Hang in there. Okay. We're just coordinating the time we're going to come on. We'll be on shortly. All right. Stand by, guys. When it come on in a way where people listening on the radio would say, I don't know what's been on the air. Has it been on the radio? Has it been dead air? Has it been a best? I don't know. Okay, here we go. He's telling me what time. Hang in there. Every once in a while, it's live radio, people. It's live. He'll give me the rejoin time. Hang in there, hang in there. He's texting me. I'm waiting for him to tell me what time then I'm going to come back. Okay. Okay, he just gave me the time. All right. Stand by. If you're new, hang in there. Okay. We've got less than 2 minutes and we'll be back. Okay, good. And then I'm going to open the show, but I'm not going to do like a normal open. I'll do an open like I'm coming back from a break. But then I got to recap what we're talking about because the radio audience has not heard. The reason I'm not taking more of these calls that are on hold because most of them are probably people that are wondering why we're not on the radio. What's going on? So, like the nice lady I just talked to a moment ago. So if you're on hold, hang in there. If you're one of the people telling me we're off the air, I appreciate you calling. We got about a minute, and the show will start. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Someone in the chat says I'm generalizing. No, I am not. Oh, it's music playing. They've been playing music. Okay. We have about 30 to 40 seconds or so, and then we'll be back. So they've been playing music. I guess maybe the station, it's the automation computer probably went right to music. 500 died. Where's that at? Of U.S. personnel? All right. About 20 seconds. What are you, the Iranian propaganda ministry? Welcome, everyone. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig, and man, oh man, do we have a lot to cover. Welcome, everyone. It is, I can't believe it is Wednesday morning already. Holy smokes. Okay, there's a lot to cover today. I've got a lot that I'm going to go through. The lead story of today, well, it should be the lead. This is a story that the media are burying. They do not want you to know about it. The New York Times had a mention about it, and the Daily Mail has a story about it, but it's not the lead story. It's buried, and most people will miss it. Here's the story. Attorney General Pam Bondi has moved into a secure military base housing over threats on her life. We have right now, as I speak, this has been going on for months. There was a story in Axios in October when I first heard about this, okay? Right now, Kristi Noem, Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, and Marco Rubio, that's 4 members of the cabinet, and Stephen Miller, who is the Deputy White House Chief of Staff, are all living on military bases. And by the way, they're there with their families, their spouses. And they're all there for their safety. 4 members of the cabinet and Stephen Miller, with his pregnant wife, by the way, Stephen Miller. And this started again in October. Pam Bondi just moved in. Kristi Noem didn't at first, but later did. So who are they? Who are threatening them? And it's not Iran. This has been going on for months, long before this action took place. Why are 4 members of the Trump cabinet living on military bases? Why is Stephen Miller joining 4 cabinet members living on military bases? It's simple. Their lives are in danger and being threatened by liberals, Democrats, never Trumpers, Antifa. The same people that killed and assassinated Charlie Kirk. Never heard of such a thing before. In fact, this is the first time we've ever had something like this happen, and no one's reporting it. And I'm going to tell you something else. It's going to be a short segment, and then after the bottom of the hour, we're going to get back on track. So let's do this, Mike. Let's take our bottom of the hour break so we can be on time for the rest of the hour, and then I'll tell you what's next. Because what's going on here with this Pam Bondi addition to living in military housing, we're in a whole new place that we've never been in before. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our bottom of the hour break. Sorry for the short segment, guys. We'll come back and we'll cover all of this and your calls at 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk, the Steve Kane Show. Back after this. All right, guys, so we're going to take our bottom of the hour break so we can be on schedule for the rest of the show, all right? Don't go anywhere.
Have you been looking for a smarter way to save money and make money with the things you already own? You can do just that with Rentology, the marketplace where neighbors rent, lend, and share everyday items. Think about all the things you buy, but you rarely use. A bike for that sunny weekend, camping gear for that one trip a year, a power washer that sits in the garage and never gets used. With Rentology, you can simply rent what you need when you need it and save money without adding more clutter to your home. And if you've got gear sitting around collecting dust, why not turn it into extra income? With Rentology, you can list your items, connect with people in your community, and start earning from the things you already own. It's simple to use too. Just go to the website Rentology.com. That's Rentologie. Browse items near you, book online, meet locally, and share the experience. Rentology helps you save money, earn extra income, reduce waste, and connect with people who share your interest. Rent, lend, share. Do more with less. Sign up right now. It's free at Rentologie.com. Rentologie. That's Rentologie.com. It's time to bring autonomy and informed consent to the forefront of every clinical framework. Spades Up Advocacy value lived experience and spark critical discussions to improve our current mental health system to a model that values ethics over convenience. Spades Up Advocacy, challenging the narrative through lived experience. Online at spades-up-advocacy.com. That's spades-up-advocacy.com.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Okay, we have about 90 seconds till the radio break is over, and I'm going to finish up with this. I've got so much to cover, but because we're coming on late, I'm a little off on my schedule of what I was going to do. So, but we have about 90 seconds, and we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there because I want to get this out. And if you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And, of course, I'm here every weekday morning, live streaming, taking your calls, covering the issues. And I also have my podcast in the afternoon and on weekends. So if you're new, subscribe. There's lots of great content discussing all the news and the issues. We're 1 minute away from coming back. All right, 1 minute. It goes by quick. Oh, man, been on almost an hour already because I started early today. So I got to recap this story, finish up with that, and then we're going to move on to some other things. And then I'll start going to the calls. How low the Democrats will go never ceases to amaze me. Does it you? Mm-mm. All right, 30 seconds. Stand by. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. We've got so much to cover today. I want to finish up with this story because it's so huge and the media are covering it. All right, if you're just tuning in, the lead story today, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, has joined other cabinet members and Stephen Miller moving from their home to military housing on military bases for their protection. Right now, these are the ones that I know about that are living on military bases. Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller, and Driscoll, who's the Secretary of the Army. And they're living on military bases in the D.C. area with their families for their own safety. The threat level from the Never-Trumpers and from the Democrats is so high. This has been going on for about 5 or 6 months, and it's back in the news today because Pam Bondi just moved to military housing. And who are they afraid might come after them? Democrats, Never-Trumpers, Antifa, the Democrat constituency. The cartels, whoever else. The Democrat constituency. The Democrat base, that's who they're afraid of. Now, a couple other things I want to add to this. there's no doubt in anyone's mind, right, that Kristi Noem was fired last week by the president. And he gave her this job as head of the Shield of the Americas. That's a fake position for her. And I know this because over the weekend, President Trump had the big summit meeting with the heads of state from the Latin American countries and gave a speech in Doral about the Shield of Americas. And he brought up on stage Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio to talk about it. Kristi Noem, who supposedly is leading this, was in the audience there with other cabinet members, and he didn't invite her up. And she's living on military housing, too. She didn't want to at first, probably because of the Corey Lewandowski situation, but she has been for a while and is now. This job that President Trump gave her, which she's obviously not really running this, or she would have been on stage with him, with Marco and Hegseth in Doral the other day at the press conference announcing the event. She was there in the front row, but not invited on stage with the others. I believe the president gave her that fake job so that she would still qualify for the military protection of her life with the other cabinet members. Last week, or was it the week before? Was it early last week or the week before? There was a story about President Trump having a rash on his neck. Pretty serious looking rash there on the neck, right? You saw the pictures. Did you notice that the media dropped it? So why did the never Trumper, Trump-hating media drop this story about this neck rash of the president's? I'm going to give you my theory, and I think you guys will agree with this, unless you're, a demented Democrat. I've noticed over the past few weeks, now keep in mind, we have, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, Hegseth, Marco, Stephen Miller, and the Secretary of the Army. That's 6. 4 of them are cabinet members. 6 senior Trump officials, 4 of them cabinet members, living on military bases due to never Trump or liberal Democrat threats against them. This has never happened before. This is unique and new. By the way, the New York Times has reported this too, although they bury the story as well. So it's been reported by liberal Axios, liberal New York Times, and liberal The Daily Mail. And that's it. And I have the stories on my X at Brian Craig Show. Okay? I've noticed in the past few weeks, when I've seen the president on television, he's been slouching a little bit more than normal. I've even seen him holding on to the podium a little bit more than usual. And I notice when he's at these events and he's done speaking, he doesn't do the Trump dance or move around too much. And you do see him slouching. I believe the reason he's been slouching and holding onto the podium and not doing the Trump dance and all of that is because the president's wearing extra body armor, more body armor than he would normally wear, which is incredibly heavy. He probably has the Kevlar-lined suit on and body armor. And I saw this late last week, that was really upsetting to me that he has to go through this. It looked like he was wearing it at the White House event with those soccer players the other day. And that rash on his neck, I do not believe was a rash. I do not believe that was a medical condition. I believe that what was reported as a rash on his neck was the chafing of the body armor he's wearing on his neck. As he's slouching due to the weight and it's rubbing on his neck, it caused that chafing on his neck. And as soon as the White House press corps, when they started talking about it, and they found out, it's the rubbing of the body, they dropped the story. If it was a health condition, they'd still be on that story. You guys agree with me about that with the neck, that was not a rash, it's not a medical condition, that it very likely was his body armor rubbing on his neck? What do you Democrats have to say for yourselves? We have 4 members of the cabinet, the Secretary of Army, and the Deputy White House Chief of Staff, and there may be others. Those are just the ones I know about that are living on military bases, protecting themselves from Democrats and never Trumpers. What do you have to say for yourself? What is wrong with you and your people? What is wrong with you? You know, we've never had cabinet members and staffers living on military bases like this, ever. But we do now. We didn't even have this in the first term, but we do now. Right? And you know what? The Democrats don't care, because Democrats think that if you disagree with them, you shouldn't be alive. That's it. Because the Democrats, that's how the Democrats are. They're evil. They're just evil. And not only are the Democrats evil, the Democrats are fading away from existence, right? Their party barely exists at this point. So they're in a caged animal panic state, on top of the fact of all these other things. They're losing everything. With the Save America Act, which will pass, with the deportations, public opinion is turned against them. Their party, with the Save America Act, cannot win elections, and they know it. And that's why the threat level has been elevated, not because of the war in Iran. Now, yesterday I was talking about the bomb that hit the school that killed the kids in Iran. And I've been watching more and more analysis of that by experts. You know, there's a lot of retired military that give great analysis on X, and I've watched a lot of them. There's video of the actual explosion. Multiple military personnel who have expert knowledge of tomahawks have analyzed this and have said many things, but this is a big one. Our tomahawks have 1,000 pounds of explosives in them. 1,000 pounds. Looking at the explosion, all of these experts have said that explosion is not 1,000 pounds of ordnance. That is not a U.S. Tomahawk. That's number one. There's been more analysis since yesterday about the direction of the rocket that hit the school. Everyone that's analyzing this online has agreed that the rocket came from where the Iranians are, but the which I shared yesterday, not where the American and Israeli positions were. But now that we're seeing more and more video that someone took south of the school of the explosion, multiple experts have said that is not a Tomahawk explosion. It's too small. So that's what we were using, Tomahawks and fighter jets with whatever they're dropping. So it wasn't us. Now, I know the liberals want to believe it was us, but it was not us. Now, here we are Wednesday. The weekend is going to be here before you know it. Are you in pain? Do you have aches? Do you have pains going on? Living in pain is not a part of growing older. Well, it can be if you don't go see Dr. Appleton. You know, when I started getting aches and pains over my body before I met Dr. Appleton, I just assumed that's what happened when you got old. You know, especially that arthritis in my hand, because I remember my grandparents and the aches and pains they had. Now, my grandparents passed many years ago. Dr. Appleton and the laser wave pain treatment they weren't around in the 80s, okay, with the robotic laser and all of that. But I just assumed that, because I can remember when some of my grandparents were the age I am now. I know, huh? That's what happens when you get older. And they were always in pain. Always. And I thought, well, there I am. That's my life now. Well, that's not the case. I live a pain-free life because it's been 7 times since Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain. Sometimes from aging, like the arthritis. He rid me of my arthritis pain. The first time was pain in my knee that I suffered from over 20 years from a car accident. Sometimes injuries when I fell off my longboard, skateboard. But I am living a pain-free life, and you can too. Go see Dr. Appleton. The consultation is free. Appointments are not necessary, and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. 0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. I'm Brian. The number to call in is toll-free 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
It's time to bring autonomy and informed consent to the forefront of every clinical framework. Spades Up Advocacy value lived experience and spark critical discussions to improve our current mental health system to a model that values ethics over convenience. Spades Up Advocacy, challenging the narrative through lived experience. Online at spades-up-advocacy.com. That's spades-up-advocacy.com. Are you looking for a love story that will stay with you long after the last page? Then add A Little Longer, available on Amazon, to your must-read list. A Little Longer is the powerful debut novel from author K.L. Bauer. It's an emotional contemporary romance that's raw, beautiful, inspiring, and unforgettable. 3 broken souls, 2 tragic endings, 1 secret that could change everything. In A Little Longer, Joey is haunted by the sudden death of his brother. Poppy is drowning in grief she can't escape. And Otis has stopped searching for a reason to stay. A Little Longer is a heartfelt story about grief, love, friendship, and finding light in the darkest places. It's perfect for fans of emotional, contemporary romance. Available now on Amazon, in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. This book is also a great addition to your book club. Order your copy right now, A Little Longer, from author K.L. Bauer, on Amazon. From the center of power in Washington, D.C., to the decisions shaping the world, Washington Central, the podcast hosted by White House correspondent and global journalist Saurabh Shukla, cuts through the noise and explains what's really happening inside the corridors of power and why it matters to you. From the Iran war, the U.S.-India trade reset, to the inside story of how President Trump sealed the Gaza peace deal, Washington Central brings you sharp reporting and real conversations with the people who understand how the system actually works. On Washington Central, there's no spin, no partisan shouting, just facts first, context that matters, and clear explanations of how decisions made in Washington ripple across the globe. Episodes are short, focused, and insightful. If you want to understand the forces shaping geopolitics, policy, and global power, Washington Central is the podcast you want to add to your podcast playlist. Tune in right now on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. Washington Central with Saurabh Shukla.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
All right, we will be back shortly. If you're on hold, hang in there. Okay, hold on. What time are we going to be? We're just a little off today because we came on late. Okay, got 1 minute. We'll be back in 1 minute. So if you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the phones when we get back. Got so much to cover today. Oh, man. Show's going by fast, too. Been on the air over an hour already. Less than a minute. We'll be back. Hmm. 15 seconds. All right, we're back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian. We'll go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, Richie.
I agree with you. You know, not for nothing. There's a place in South Florida, for anyone that doesn't know about it, called the Everglades.
Yes.
And the Everglades had a lot of species in the Everglades. The alligators. All of a sudden, they started throwing these snakes in the Everglades, and the snakes are taking over the Everglades. The Democratic Party and the left are the snakes. I mean, not for nothing. We are not compatible with them at all. You hear it on the phone calls going into your station.
Oh.
You wouldn't have them to your house would you have them to your house for Thanksgiving or for Christmas? Probably they wouldn't even believe in Christmas, but if they did, they wouldn't go to your house. You would be in an argument in about 5 minutes listening to their crazy ideas. I mean, not for nothing. Charlie Kirk was killed. I might be jumping all over the place, but Charlie Kirk was killed because he was outside college campuses telling our side of America, inside the walls of these colleges, they're distorting everything we do with these crazy professors that are anti-American. Everything you do in this country, the left is anti-American.
Well, this is what we got. We have 6 senior Trump officials under threat where they're living in military housing. 4 of them are cabinet members: Pam Bondi, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, Driscoll, the Secretary of the Army, and Stephen Miller, all living in military housing for their safety. They're being threatened by the left.
Well, yeah, you got to understand. 100%. You got to understand this: that the Trump administration, President Trump, by trying to make America great again, okay, he's got these crazy leftists against him. Like for example, the gays are in the streets marching for the Iranians. Meanwhile, if the Iranians ever took over, the first ones they would kill would be the gays.
Exactly.
I mean, they're so ignorant. They're so ignorant. It gets me crazy.
Stupid. Just
Now,
stupid.
President Trump President Trump has created a lot of enemies, but the enemies have been stoked by the left-wing media and by everybody on all the politicians. You got this Kirby telling the world we're losing the war, and there's no purpose for us being there, this senator. This is what they have. They have nothing. They literally have nothing. Now, I don't think the party is falling apart because locally they're lying to get elected. They literally, like the one in Virginia, she lied, and then all of a sudden she told everyone she was a moderate, and that she's right off the bat, she's not. She's a wacko. Yeah. You got wackos in Seattle. You got wackos in Portland. You got governors that are from these left-wing states.
Yeah, but to have 4 cabinet members and 2 senior officials with Trump in fear for their lives, where they and their families have to move to military housing. President Trump he's made enemies, but not the American people. They're on his side.
Not the real American people. But like in New York, when they had that march going on about the and they had the 2 jihadis. How many of those two teenagers that were ISIS? How many do you think got in here over the last 4 years?
And CNN and they're trying to tell us that Mamdani was the target from these Muslim terrorists in New York. Are they out of their mind?
Yeah, and how about his wife? I can't picture on September 11th how they're going to have the ceremony in New York City when they got a jihadi.
It should be called off.
First lady in New York.
It should be called off. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate.
Yeah,
to have them.
She's worse than anybody else. She's really bad. I mean, the whole situation in New York. But there you go. New York is bad. Most of the people voting for people in New York are bad. Mm-hmm. Why are they bad? Because they put these people in. This is a divided country, and when I hear people saying we have to come together, no, we don't. Yeah. I do not believe in what they believe in. We do not have to come together. We have to defeat them. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I might sound like a crazy man, but there's no way that I can have friends that are leftists. I would be in an argument in about 2 seconds. I couldn't sit and look at them.
I have no liberal friends. I have no liberal friends. I don't want liberal friends.
You can't. Mm-mm. I don't either. The country will never. I don't want to hear about this bipartisan garbage.
Yeah.
John McCain and You can't be bipartisan with crazy people.
Not
I'm
with the
sorry.
liberals.
And they're crazy people.
Not with the liberals. I
No,
mean, listen,
I mean,
listen
they're
to them.
pushing-
Listen to the ones I talk to on the phones. I mean, they're nuts.
That's what I'm saying. You can't make sense of it. They come up with these crazy things, and I say to myself, are they out of their mind? Don't they want this country to be straightened out?
No.
And President Trump is doing the best job I've ever seen in my life. They take this school in Iran. You mentioned that school in Iran with the explosion there and the kids killed, the girls. I mean, listen, things do happen, whether it was our fault, whether they did it themselves, but they didn't mention the 35,000 that were killed in 2 days. They never do. They're anti-American.
And if you notice, in the
that's
last 24 hours, we've taken out a lot of the local Revolutionary Guard leaders and leaders of the police and secret police of Iran. They're taking out the leadership of the police and the secret police.
Some of them are defecting.
And some of them are dead.
Some of them are defecting right now. And the guy that they put in charge, I understand, is in a coma with one leg missing.
The Ayatollah's son. I don't think he's ever been. I don't think they got him since he was named. I think he was hit in the original attack, and they made the supreme leader a guy that's been in a coma. If he's alive, he may not even be alive, Richie.
Well,
the original report was that he was. The original report was that he was killed with his father on the initial attack.
Yeah, but there's a guy that I listen to on YouTube that's from Iran, and he has sources. His father's in Iran. Mm-hmm. Can I mention his name?
No.
Lucy TV.
Okay, well, you just did. Okay.
And
even I said no.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Oh, I didn't know what. Well, he's got sources inside the country that are communicating with him.
Yeah, but no one's seen him. No one has seen him. So we don't really know.
The hospital he's in. He mentioned the hospital that he's actually in, and he's got one leg, and he's in a coma.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
But
what I'm telling you is, he's been in. If he is in a coma with one leg, that's from the initial attack. So they made someone the supreme leader who he was not hit after he was named. They gave the title. Nobody else wanted it because they didn't want to be targeted. So they gave the leadership to a guy in a coma with one leg.
Yeah, when he wakes up, if he wakes up, he's gonna say, "Where's my family?" And they're gonna say, "They're all dead." And then he's gonna say, "Well, I want to go skiing," and he's gonna say, "You can't. Look at your leg; it's gone."
Exactly.
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, this is. But I'm pro-American. You're pro-American. The callers that you have that are anti-American are not Republicans, and they're not. They'll admit they're not Republicans. This Jay from Jersey and the rest of them, they're whack jobs, man. I mean, not for nothing.
Jay from Jersey's call yesterday was one of the most embarrassing calls I've ever heard. Not just from him, from any liberal caller. I mean, he just put himself in a corner of saying stupid things yesterday. Very bizarre.
They have nothing. They have nothing.
Listen, I gotta run, Richie. I'm up against the break, but I appreciate the call. If you're on hold, stand by. Did you see the local weather report here in South Florida? We're gonna get rain. That's right. It's going to, not today, but later in the week, it's going to be rain. It's going to be raining over the weekend, going to be lots of rain. And that means you need to call Tom Laporta if you get a wet spot on your ceiling. You know, when these rains come in and you've got a wet spot on your ceiling, don't take that lightly. That means you've got a leak in your roof. And you want to call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing before that leak. It could be the size of a coin. Before that leak gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, by the time you see the wet spot on your ceiling, the hole in your roof is much bigger, because it's got to go through the roofing material, the lumber, the insulation, all that business. By the time you see it on your ceiling, you've got a much larger leak in your roof probably. Call Tom Laporta. Tom Laporta covers both the east and west coast of Florida and everywhere in between. He's a good MAGA guy who will not sell you a roof you do not need. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, so you could call or text 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. All right, we'll take our break for the top of the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. We've got a lot to cover. I'll go back to the phones and share more news stories when we get back. If you want to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Back after this break. We're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Hank from Hollywood. How you doing?
All right, Hank. What's on your mind?
I called Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. He sent out Scott. Now, Scott is absolutely the best. Scott and Scott's crew are the absolute best. They gave me a great price. They did the job when they said they were going to do it. They finished the job when they said they were going to do it. The materials they used, absolutely the best. I want to thank Tom. I definitely want to thank Scott, and definitely want to thank Scott's crew. These people are number one, and I just want your listeners to know, Tom Laporta at Tom Laporta Roofing. If you need a new roof, call Tom at Tom Laporta Roofing. You're not going to go wrong. You're not going to be disappointed.
Do what Hank did. Call Tom Laporta at Laporta Roofing on his cell phone, 954-604-4602, 954-604-4602, and online, laportaroofing.com. On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, 954-773-1587, 954-773-1587.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
From the center of power in Washington, D.C., to the decisions shaping the world, Washington Central, the podcast hosted by White House correspondent and global journalist Saurabh Shukla, cuts through the noise and explains what's really happening inside the corridors of power and why it matters to you. From the Iran war, the U.S.-India trade reset, to the inside story of how President Trump sealed the Gaza peace deal, Washington Central brings you sharp reporting and real conversations with the people who understand how the system actually works. On Washington Central, there's no spin, no partisan shouting, just facts first, context that matters, and clear explanations of how decisions made in Washington ripple across the globe. Episodes are short, focused, and insightful. If you want to understand the forces shaping geopolitics, policy, and global power, Washington Central is the podcast you want to add to your podcast playlist. Tune in right now on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast. Washington Central with Saurabh Shukla.
All right, we'll be back in about 30 seconds, guys, so stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you want to call in, the numbers toll-free and pinned in the live chat. Oh, man, the show's flying by. Been on the air an hour and 19 minutes. We're starting the second hour of the radio show. It is going by quickly. 500 military U.S. military dead. Who's that? Where's that story? All right, the 7 o'clock hour has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. Oh boy, we flipped a seat That's right. This is in Virginia. Listen to this. Prince William County. This is the local board of supervisors in Prince William County in Virginia. We flipped it from Democrat to Republican. Not only did a female white Republican win, she defeated a Muslim Democrat. Uh-oh. People are waking up out there. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Oh, man. That is good news, flipping a seat. And shame on Marjorie Taylor Greene taking us to a runoff in Georgia. Shame on her. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug. What's up?
I'm listening to what you were saying. I'd like to know what the security risk is that made people go to live on a military base. Man, that's a really miserable thing to have to do. I mean, I'm thinking that these damn Democrats are just, I like to call them demon rats, are just out to try to make sure nobody wants to do anything for the administration.
It seems so insane.
Well, this is unprecedented. I never know of. I've never known this to happen. Not in these numbers. If you're just tuning in, Pam Bondi, for her own safety, moved to a military base for protection. We now have 4 cabinet members living on military bases: Pam Bondi, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, and Kristi Noem. Stephen Miller and his wife are living on a military base, and Driscoll, who's the Secretary of the Army, is living on a military base as well. This is unheard of.
Never heard of it, man. This is something I'd like to know what the threat really is. If the Democrats really have somebody out there looking.
The threat are Democrats.
Yeah, man, it's something like I got to be Democrats, because this is just a way to scare everybody out of to quit. You know, how many people want to live on a military base? This is disgusting what they're doing, man. And I don't know how we could stop it, but this is like a mafia tactic. You got to live on a military base to be protected.
Well, that's what they used to do. J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI, used to put mob informants on military bases to protect them from the mob, the mafia. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So this is the way they came up with this. But I'm hoping nobody's going to decide to walk away from President Trump to save themselves, because you got to be there.
And remember that not only are they living on these bases, they got to bring their families with them.
And your family, that's the thing that really gets everybody. You know, if you have to protect your family, then you start saying, I don't need this. You know, these people are all pretty wealthy. They don't need to have.
These are people. I mean, think about it. These are people that have Secret Service details, and that's not enough based on the threat level. And by the way, don't blame Iran, because this has been going on for 5 or 6 months, okay, with these officials. But Pam Bondi just did it. That's why it's in the news again. So this was happening long before things heated up with Iran. They're there because of the left.
Yeah, I 100% agree. You got to be, and I'm sorry that it has to happen, man. But I don't know how you can stop it, if you have these crazy people out there. You know what I'm thinking? You know, you hear all these liberals that are insane. You know, it used to be in music, there was like the subliminal messages being put into a record. So I'm thinking maybe CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the subliminal messages, hate Trump, hate Trump, hate Trump. Everybody is being psychologically affected.
There's something. All right, Doug, I'm going to move on, but I appreciate the call. Yeah, good points. All right, now, Joe Rogan, let me play this. This is Joe Rogan this week talking about Iran. Listen to this.
It seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars.
Okay, who feels betrayed by Trump? What MAGA person feels betrayed by Trump? Are you kidding me? Anyway, play the whole thing. This is Joe Rogan this week. He's got a guest he's talking to.
It seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Well, but he said he's against endless wars.
Well, they're
against
all,
endless wars.
Listen, man, they're all endless. Did you ever hear Rumsfeld talk about Iraq when it first happened?
Tell me.
They were talking about like 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not true. In fact, I remember when the War on Terror began, Bush and Cheney talked about a 12-year long war, if you remember. Went on like 20 years, but they talked about a 12-year war on day one. Okay? And who feels betrayed? Are you kidding me? By Trump? You know, Joe Rogan, I just don't get. You know, Joe Rogan, when he does interviews and things, I listen to his interviews. He's good. He's good at interviews, and I listen to him on some things. But what he's talking about now, he doesn't have enough knowledge or perspective to even understand what it is he's talking about. And sometimes I think Rogan goes with the wind because he doesn't want to alienate liberals because he does so many guests. I don't know. I've never really understood the success of Rogan. He's a mediocre actor. Remember when he was a sitcom actor? He was awful. He got very lucky with Fear Factor. That first season or two of Fear Factor was a big hit on the coattails of Survivor. It was a kind of like a reality game show. It was pretty good. I watched it. And now he's got this. No MAGA people feel betrayed by Trump. And he didn't say no more wars. He said no more forever wars. And this war has been getting cleaned up pretty fast, hasn't it? Absolutely it has. You know, people, you know, I tell you, we've got so many people out there that are trend chasers, like Rogan and Megyn Kelly and others, who are always trashing Trump. They wanted Trump on their programs for the views and the clicks, you know, and President Trump has never been anything but gracious to him, hanging out with him at the UFC fights and all of that, and now he throws him under the bus during wartime. What's wrong with you? He's acting like a liberal. If you're on hold, hang in there. Our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. Now, so far as Rogan, I do listen to his interviews from time to time. He does very good interviews. So I'm not hating on Rogan, but he doesn't understand what he's talking about here. He doesn't understand. And to compare Rumsfeld and Bush and Cheney to Pete Hegseth and JD and President Trump, there's no comparison. These are totally different situations, which I'm not going to go through right now because you all know. So call us on hold. You stand by. I want to remind you guys, it is tax season. Call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. He can handle your taxes no matter where you are in the United States. His office is here in South Florida, but even if you're local, you don't have to go meet him in person. You can do everything on the phone and online. He can help you with your taxes no matter where you are. He'll make sure that you get all the deductions you're entitled to and the largest return that you are owed from the government. And with Jamie Levac, you can get your return in as little as 24 hours. You heard me right. Give him a call. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac. You can call or text 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587 for Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. We'll be right back.
Hey folks, today I want to tell you about a site that's caught the attention of a lot of budget-conscious fashionistas. Smart Buy Apparel, a women's online clothing store that lives up to its name. Looking for fashionable women's apparel without the price tag shock? Check out smartbuyapparel.com. They've got everything you need: dresses, tops, outerwear, handbags, jewelry, all at terrific deals. And here's why it's actually smart to shop there. Free shipping on all orders, regardless of the order amount, and free product returns. Ordered the wrong size? Change your mind on your pick? No big deal. Just use their hassle-free self-serve return center to request your free shipping label for the item you want to send back. If you're listening right now, you get 10% off your entire order when you visit the site, smartbuyapparel.com. Lovely women's apparel at bargain prices, great service, and zero stress. Head on over to smartbuyapparel.com right now to pick your favorites. smartbuyapparel.com. Do you remember those books you loved as a child? The ones that made you smile every time you opened them? Author Paul F. Busuto Jr. brings kids a colorful, joyful story about Leonardo, a friendly pizza maker whose kindness and laughter follow him everywhere he goes, and That Pizza Guy, available on Amazon. Filled with bright illustrations, playful characters, and a heartwarming message about friendship and sharing, That Pizza Guy is a children's book parents love to read at bedtime, and kids ask for again and again. And teachers, That Pizza Guy also makes a great addition to your classroom reading collection. It's a sweet, timeless story, perfect for families, classrooms, and anyone looking for a gift that will be remembered for years. Order your copy right now on Amazon, That Pizza Guy, from author Paul F. Busuto Jr. in Kindle and paperback. Share a smile, share a story, and bring home That Pizza Guy on Amazon.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
All right, we're still in radio break, so if you are on hold, hang in there. I'm going to take the calls when we get back. All right. Yeah. I'm just going through here. We got about a minute. We'll be back. Let's see. Okay, we have about 40 seconds and we'll be back. I'll go to the phones. What do you guys think about Roe? Any MAGA people feel betrayed by Trump? Come on. Call me up. I want to hear these MAGA people that feel betrayed by Trump for doing what he ran on doing, promising to do. We got about 20 seconds and we'll be back. Yeah. We're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, it's Sean from West Lake Worth. How you doing, Brian?
What's up, John?
No, it's Sean. But
Sean.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I called Friday,
Sean.
And we do feel a little betrayed about the war. I still love Trump. Trump's doing a great job. But yes, we were told no new wars. And this is what I said Friday. So maybe Joe Rogan's listening. I mean, isn't it funny? The number one podcast is repeating my talking points now. So
yeah,
maybe he's listening to the show too.
Well, I guess
so. Also, we do feel a little betrayed.
We? Who's the we?
We, yes.
Who do you speak
we
for?
You
say
the
we.
MAGA that he was talking about. We is the MAGA who were told we weren't going to get any new wars.
We haven't.
That's who feels betrayed.
But what you're in denial about is we haven't. We are finishing America's longest war. And you know this. Come on.
Right. So why didn't he do it in the first term, Brian? If they were such an imminent threat, so he took out Soleimani, but he didn't do this thing. And, Charlie Kirk...
Okay, no. You asked a question. I'll answer it. Why didn't he do this in the first term? Because Iran did not attack Israel the way... The couple things happened. okay, that we didn't have in the first term. And because of COVID, everything got sidetracked in the last year, so come on. But we had the Israeli-Gaza war, which was Iran, was behind the whole thing with the Gaza fighters. That's one. We took out their uranium facility. They continued, by their own admission, they continued to manufacture uranium, and during the negotiations a few weeks back, told Jared Kushner that they had enough. Hold on one second here. They told Jared Kushner they had enough uranium for what? 11 nuclear weapons, and they said that they have a God-given right to nuclear weapons. They told the Trump administration a couple weeks ago. You can't let these madmen get nuclear weapons. That's why he's finishing America's longest war. You know this.
Right, that's a good talking point.
It's not a talking point. It's not a talking point. It's just, you're just saying that because I'm right, you can't counter it, so you want to discount it and say it's a talking point.
Brian, we've been at war for 47 years per the talking point.
So now they say,
again,
but they said they have an, excuse me. All right, you probably want a cracker, you're repeating your earlier say. They said they have enough uranium for 11 nukes. They have a God-given right to nuclear weapons. You feel that President Trump should have allowed the Ayatollah lunatic Khomeini to have a dozen nuclear weapons? Is that what you're telling us?
No, not at all. Now you're putting words into my mouth, Brian. Come on, be good.
I'm not putting anything in your mouth, believe me. I'll never put anything in your mouth.
Bro. Right. Anyway.
No, not anyway. Do you notice? No, hold on. Slow down for a second. Those of you in the listening audience, have you noticed with this gentleman on the line? I've countered everything he says, and what does he do? He either repeats what he started with or says, oh, that's a talking point. You haven't responded to a darn thing I said.
You're repeating what two real estate agents said, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff.
Oh,
you're
okay,
the one
real estate
talking
agents.
Points.
Real estate agents.
Oh, we got
no, you have not dealt. You have not dealt. You have not. Excuse me. You have not dealt with a single counterpoint I made to your idiotic opening question.
Yes, that's as a good sicko fan who will not disagree with Trump. That's what I would expect you to say.
You're still not dealing with it.
Anyway,
you're still not dealing with it.
No new wars. Do you want me to believe that they were moments away? What happened to the strike? What was it called? Midnight Hammer?
So
I thought we obliterated the nuclear sites, Brian. You're not making sense.
So I'm a little confused.
Everybody knows what I'm saying.
I'm a little confused. So you believe?
Go ahead.
Now, because this is what I'm confused about. Because you've said in the beginning of the call, you told me this when you called me the other day, that you've been a Trump supporter. So now you believe that Donald Trump is a liar who's murdering people for no reason. Is that what
see, now you're doing it again. I just told you that outside of the war. Did you not listen to your own clip? Joe Rogan said
I'm not talking about Rogan. I'm talking about you.
Brian.
I'm talking about you.
On the war.
I'm talking about you.
You
said
everything else he's
excuse
doing.
me.
The border's closed.
But you believe he's a liar and that he's murdering people for no reason in Iran.
Who said that?
You.
I said betrayed.
Well, that means betrayed. What does it mean to betray someone?
That means when you campaign on not going to war and then you go to war.
Okay.
And remember,
you're telling me that you're telling me that Donald Trump is a liar. You believe Donald Trump's a liar.
No. You see, there you go.
How do you betray someone without lying to them?
Betrayed.
How do you betray someone? How do you betray someone without lying to them?
Very simple. You do something that you said you weren't going to do.
That's called lying.
Doesn't mean you lie. No.
Yes,
listen,
you can't.
You can
Betrayal is a lie. Okay, let me read. I looked up the definition. I looked up the definition of betrayed. Okay.
Good.
Betrayed means having someone you trusted break that trust by acting against you, involving deceit, disloyalty. Excuse me. I'm not finished.
Unbelievable.
Involving deceit, disloyalty, revealing something that was meant to stay private, deceived. Okay. So you believe Donald Trump is a liar?
The third definition will have lie in it. Come on, just
These
stop.
all mean lie.
Three-time Trump voter.
Deceit is lying.
I did not say that. Anybody listening
Sure.
heard what I said.
If he has betrayed
Did you play the clip from Joe Rogan?
No. I'm not playing the clip from Joe Rogan. You're not going to get out of this
No,
by
you
leaning
did
on
play it
Rogan.
already. We
I'm
heard it.
not
You
going to
didn't
play
say
it
lie, you
again.
said betrayed.
I'm talking to you. You said betrayed. You're a Trump supporter who feels betrayed. That means you believe Trump lied to you.
Over the war.
That means he
Over
lied to
the
you.
war.
So you believe he lied to you.
No, you're saying that.
How do you betray someone without lying
Brian?
to them? How do you betray
I
without
don't know,
lying?
But your definition didn't say lie, did it?
Deceit
did it say
is
lie.
deceit.
You just read it. Read it
Deceit
again.
means lie.
Maybe
It's a
it'll
more
change.
listen. Okay, you're obviously a man with a limited
Get a
vocabulary.
syllabus.
Deceit and lie mean the
Right.
same thing. A syllabus? What is this? A
Right.
classroom? You want a classroom?
thesaurus, excuse me.
A thesaurus?
Thesaurus.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Get a thesaurus.
No, I don't need to get a book. I have an education.
Right.
Deceit is
Anyway,
lying.
We're done here.
Yes, we're done here. Yes. We're done here. Hang up on me, Brian. Hang up on me, please. I can't take anymore. Hang up on me. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Do you believe that guy's MAGA? You guys believe that guy's MAGA? Our number is 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff.
That guy, that last call is an idiot. He's not MAGA.
I know.
He is pretending to be MAGA.
Fake
to
MAGA.
Try to put in divisive MAGA feels betrayed by Trump. No one in MAGA has ever felt betrayed by Trump for any reason, let alone what he just said.
Exactly.
And we've been at war with Iran since 1979 when they took our hostages for 444 days.
Correct.
And the day Reagan was inaugurated, he said, before I take that oath, they better be released, and those were released. And that's how you deal with terrorists.
That's right. Hey, Jeff, I'm up against a break. I agree with all your points. All right? Appreciate the call. All right? You take care. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. This may be the most important question I ask anyone today. Do you or someone you know and love suffer from neuropathy? Oh, man. If you've got neuropathy, or your parents have it, or grandparents, or your spouse, an aunt, an uncle, a colleague, you know what it's awful, isn't it? It's the worst. It really is living torture. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in your hands and feet, the dizziness, the falling down all the time, the feeling of pins and needles in your hands and feet, no feeling at all. The symptoms make life unbearable. Lighthouse Medical in Pompano has a treatment for neuropathy that works and lasts. Steve had neuropathy in the worst way. He went there over 3.5 years ago now. He saw relief after his very first treatment at Lighthouse Medical. They rid him of his neuropathy symptoms, and over 3.5 years later, it has not returned. Give them a call. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show so you can take advantage of the no-charge consultation. Now, Lighthouse Medical is located in Pompano, and if you're local and can make it in person, that's awesome. But if you can't make it in person, whether you're local or anywhere else in the world, Lighthouse Medical can do with you and your neuropathy what they did to Steve and his neuropathy. Rid him of it, no matter where you're located in the world. Call Lighthouse Medical at 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back.
Every year, millions of people travel overseas for medical procedures. They hope to save money or find faster care. But thousands come home with complications that could have been prevented, or worse. Why? Unverified doctor credentials, unsafe clinics, poor aftercare planning, and more. And don't gamble with your health. The 7 key steps to safe, successful medical travel. Author and registered nurse Giselle Medham, who has over 23 years of experience in healthcare, shares a life-saving system to help help you plan smart, choose safe providers, and avoid costly mistakes. When you read Don't Gamble with Your Health, you'll learn how to spot red flags, vet doctors and hospitals, prepare for your recovery, uncover hidden costs, and travel with confidence. If you or someone you love is considering medical care abroad, this is the book that you must read first. Order your copy of Don't Gamble with Your Health, the 7 key steps to safe, successful medical travel, online at ebook.metahealth.uk. That's ebook.metahealth.uk. Your health isn't a gamble, it's your life.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you My Pillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our My Pillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our My Pillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Hi, it's Dr. Philip Appleton. You've been hearing my commercials about bye-bye pain, my laser weight treatment, but today's commercial and today's spot is going to be on Tom Laporta, Laporta Roofing. What an experience I've had with him and his company. They've done a few of my friends' houses and my son and my house, and there's never a downtime. They're old school, which means you call them up, they'll be there. How many times have you called somebody up and they never show up, or they give you an excuse, weather, traffic, whatever? Tom Laporta, what a class act. The workmanship, the magnificent teamwork they have. I recommend them 100%.
Thanks, Dr. Appleton. Now do what Dr. Appleton did. Pick up your phone and call Tom Laporta from Laporta Roofing on your cell phone. 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaRoofing.com. All right, less than 30 seconds and we'll be back. I'm going to go right to the phones. Stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. Betray doesn't mean lie. We're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Cody, Atlanta.
Atlanta, Georgia. Speak up.
Yeah, I want to say the only thing I was figuring out my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Everything okay there on the Colt compound? I heard y'all arguing with each other. You all okay? Does he not love Trump enough?
I'm having a hard time understanding. You're mumbling a little bit. Speak a little slower and a little louder, and no profanity, of course. But I'm having a hard time understanding your mumbling. Just speak a little more articulately.
Yeah, no problem. I was saying, is everything okay on the Colt compound? I heard y'all arguing about who loved Trump or who trusted Trump and didn't betray him.
Well, the last caller I was talking to before the break is what I refer to as fake MAGA, a liar. He's a liberal like you, pretending to be what I am, MAGA, for credibility.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's kind of like sounds like a cult, right? He's not a real one of us, right?
A cult? No.
Yeah.
No.
That sounds like.
No. You're in the cult. You're in the cult. The Never Trumpers.
You literally argued with the guy about, you called Trump a liar. How dare you?
Yes.
Trump lies all the time, man.
No, he doesn't. Give me if he lies all the time, he's spoken several times over the last few days. Give me his most recent lie from this week.
I would say the crime waves caused by immigrants would be something.
What?
The crime waves caused by immigrants in this country?
Yes.
Scapegoats immigrants?
Yes. No, but that's not from this week. That's a long time statement, which is true. In fact, not only is that true, since the mass deportations have begun, in the United States, we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years. since 1900.
We've had our that's been going down like since the 2016.
No. It was the excuse me. It was the FBI.
Yeah.
It was the FBI crime statistics from 2025 show that the murder rate is its lowest since 1900. So
it keeps going down, though.
And the only thing that has changed in the last year to result in that was the mass deportations of the illegal criminals.
Oh, so just to be clear, like when all these crimes of immigrants were happening, did we not have like cops arresting these people?
No. Joe Biden and the Democrats. Nope. They were bringing the murderers into the country. So I asked you to give me an example of Trump lying. You gave me an example of a truth he told.
Well, I guess this really quick though. Trump said they were emptying out the prisons in other countries. Did he empty out a prison when he came to D.C.?
What? Yes, they were emptying. They were sending prisoners from other countries to America.
And then Trump came to D.C. and was like, "Let me go empty out this prison."
Right? What prison did he empty?
All the J6ers.
How many people is that?
About 700 something, right?
Nope.
No, just sorry, I don't keep up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, then maybe you should talk about things you keep up with and are knowledgeable about.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah.
But then what would you talk about? Then what would you talk about then?
I don't know. Maybe I could talk about not loving Trump enough for a bit.
What kind of? How old are you?
It's about your mom's age.
Really? You're in your 70s?
Yeah.
My mom's in her 70s.
Sure.
You're in your 70s?
Yes, I am. It's my golden years.
Yeah. What year were you born?
49.
49, and that'd make you how old?
I am about 76.
You're about 76? Come on, you can't even tell the truth about your age.
I don't know, man.
I was gonna ask you a question about being a man and a gentleman, but you're not. I mean, why would you talk about my mother? Right. Why would you inject my mother? Right. What kind of gentleman are you? What a low-life person you are.
Oh, yes. Just to be clear, you're the guy who supports the guy who tried to overthrow the election in 2020, a Confederate traitor, right? That's you.
A Confederate? Right? No, the Confederacy was there we go. All right, first one of the day, Mike. First one of the day. I'm surprised it took that long with that caller. All right, first dump of the day. While we wait for the delay to re-engage, hold on, those of you on hold. We'll go back to the phones in a moment when the delay re-engages. You know, what I find with a lot of callers, like that last, I would say gentleman, but he was no gentleman. His language, bringing up my mother. Oh, my goodness. Totally classless. Most people that are not on the Trump train, most people that dislike Trump at a level like that, they dislike Trump based on things that just are not true, right? And when you talk to them, they don't know what they're talking about. They're repeating liberal talking points. All right, our number is 888-465-2631. Joellen in Fort Lauderdale. I know I won't have to use the dump button with you. Good morning, Joellen.
Good morning. Wow, what a lunatic that guy was.
Well,
can you imagine living with somebody like that?
I doubt anyone does.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't. Anyways.
Maybe mom and dad might live with his parents, but they have to live with him.
Yeah. I wouldn't go so hard on Joe Rogan. I mean, I'm surprised he did say that, but he is a big supporter of Trump.
No, he's not.
You know, anybody that is
no, he's not.
Is a Trump supporter is not going to feel betrayed by him at any means. And I say to those people,
Joe Rogan is not a Trump supporter.
What's that?
Joe Rogan is not a Trump supporter.
You don't think so? I mean,
he said that he feels betrayed by Trump over the fighting in Iran. You just said Trump supporters don't feel betrayed. He said he's betrayed.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of his clips are, pro-Trump. A lot of them, and he's always,
Yeah, but every once in a while, when somebody's putting on a facade, every once in a while they slip.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, you have to trust in Trump. I love him and I trust in him, and God's got his hand on him. But what I was really calling about was, are you familiar with Brian Maxwell? He's a black podcaster.
No.
I was looking at his clip about 3 o'clock this morning, and he's got he had a big thing on Fishback and Byron.
Yeah.
And
Fish sticks is done. Byron's on the campaign. If you notice, I haven't talked about fish sticks in a week or week and a half. As soon as Byron Donalds got on the campaign trail and started campaigning, that's it. No need to talk about fish sticks and give him publicity. He's done.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of bad things against him.
I know.
He had videos, and he's a Nick Fuentes supporter.
I know. I played that on the air. I don't have to listen to other podcasts. I could just listen to myself. I had all that stuff. All right, Joel, and I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. All right. Whoever that is, they're behind a couple of weeks. Our number is 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Watch Atlanta again. You're on the air.
Brian, it's Jessica.
Oh, hey, Jessica.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Oh, hi. Listen, that guy, that fake MAGA guy that called you, he is lying to his teeth. He's not MAGA. He was never MAGA, and he will never be a MAGA supporter, ever. You know why?
Why?
Because they don't know, the liberals don't know that MAGA means that it's a movement created by Trump.
Correct.
They forget that. They forget that Trump was the one that created MAGA. So now they feel that when they're MAGA, have to stop being MAGA because.
Well, you know, there used to be these bumper stickers that went around. You remember those bumper stickers that said "Real men love Jesus"? Remember those? They were pretty popular. Real men love Donald Trump.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes. I'm 98. I don't know if you've seen the polls. I don't follow polls. I don't believe in them. But there's one poll that I will not deny it, that there should never be, that 98% of Trump supporters approve of everything that he's doing. Even CNN published that the other day. I don't know if you talked about it. I don't remember listening.
Yes. Yeah, I shared the poll. 98%. I did last week. We obviously missed a show a week and a half ago. I did a whole show on that. 98% of MAGA voters support Trump. 83% of never Trumper Republicans support Trump, and 98% of MAGA supports Trump.
Yes. So all these people calling saying, "Oh, I used to be a MAGA and I'm no longer one because I feel that he betrayed me."
Liars.
Totally. And Joe Rogan, he was never a MAGA supporter.
No.
He was never a Trump supporter. You know why he decided to probably
views.
Disclose that he supported Trump and he voted?
Views.
You know why you know why he did that? Because he couldn't openly support Kamala because Kamala was a crazy candidate.
Yeah.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, since I can no longer support Kamala, or I can't logically vote for her because she seems like she's a crazy one, then let me go with Trump. But he's not. He was never.
And
Trump
anyone who
supporter.
feels betrayed by Trump, who says that, anyone who says Trump betrayed us with this war in Iran believes that not only is Trump a liar, but he's a murderer who's murdering people for no good reason in Iran. That's how you have to think of Donald Trump. That's insane to think that.
Exactly. And you know what? He never changed. Trump never changed because although that he wasn't for war and didn't want to get into one, he openly said that he will not allow for Iran to create or build nuclear weapons.
Correct.
And this is exactly why he went in, because they found out that Iran was creating nuclear weapons. And honestly, Brian, you know why we should support Trump more than ever? Because Iran was the one that was behind the assassination attempt for him.
Correct.
It was Iran. Iran was the one twice.
That's
Twice
right.
they tried to assassinate him.
Yep, that's
and
right.
he needed to defend himself. It was either Iran or it was him. And guess what? It was Iran, and he went after that.
Correct.
So Americans need to wake up and start supporting all these leftist communist people that has become the Democratic Party. I used to be one.
That's okay.
And
You're
I'm
a
proud to say
recovered
that
liberal.
no longer-
That's okay. You're a recovering Democrat.
Well, I'm not recovering anymore. I know exactly why I support Trump. And
You've got to be careful, because if you've ever known someone who's a recovered alcoholic, 30 years could go by. They have one beer and they go right down. They're done. So you got to be careful.
No, not me. Listen, I cannot support a party that openly celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
Ever. That's when I found out that they are criminals.
Yes.
They are criminals, and they are infiltrating this country and supporting Muslims.
Mm-hmm. That's
if
right.
they continue supporting Muslims, we are going to be taken over by Muslims.
Correct.
You know why we left Latin America? Because Latin America is what's filled with corruption, and we don't want corruption here.
That's right.
And the Democratic Party supports corruption.
Well, listen, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. You make a lot of sense. We're up against a break, but take care. I want to talk about Sloman's Home Security's free home security system with free professional installation offer that also includes 24/7 central station monitoring. You get all of that for just $24.95 a month, and you're locked in with that $24.95 a month for 5 years. That is absolutely amazing. It's a free home security system and professional installation. Free! Your Sloman's home security system includes a touchscreen keypad, 3 door window sensors, a motion detector, notifications, and remote keypad access so you can check in anytime from anywhere. And give them a call no matter where you're located. Take advantage of this offer. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. That's 833-283-5050. Callers on hold, you stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian. We'll be right back.
From author Tony Soika, who is named 2026's Best New Author in Veteran Fiction by Insider Weekly, comes a vigilante justice thriller for fans of Jack Reacher, military suspense, and stories that fight back against animal cruelty. Pit Bulls in Paradise, available on Amazon. After 30 years in the Army and 3 brutal combat deployments, John thought he'd finally found peace in Key West. But Paradise has a dark side when he discovers a savage dogfighting ring tied to ruthless criminals and abused pit bulls. Forced into bloody battles, he can't walk away. Haunted by war, driven by loyalty, and fueled by his love for man's best friend, this veteran becomes a one-man army against evil. Now, the hunters are the hunted, and one wrong move could cost John everything. Justice is coming, and it has teeth. Order your copy right now on Amazon, in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Pit Bulls in Paradise, from author Tony Soika, on Amazon. Have you been looking for a smarter way to save money and make money with the things you already own? You can do just that with Rentology, the marketplace where neighbors rent, lend, and share everyday items. Think about all the things you buy, but you rarely use. A bike for that sunny weekend, camping gear for that one trip a year, a power washer that sits in the garage and never gets used. With Rentology, you can simply rent what you need when you need it and save money without adding more clutter to your home. And if you've got gear sitting around collecting dust, why not turn it into extra income? With Rentology, you can list your items, connect with people in your community, and start earning from the things you already own. It's simple to use too. Just go to the website Rentology.com. That's Rentologie. Browse items near you, book online, meet locally, and share the experience. Rentology helps you save money, earn extra income, reduce waste, and connect with people who share your interest. Rent, lend, share, do more with less. Sign up right now. It's free at Rentologie.com. Rentologie. That's Rentologie.com.
Okay, we'll be back shortly, guys. Hold on. About 90 seconds, we'll be back. We're still in break. I'll go right to the phones. Oh, man. What a day. Let me look at the weather outside. We'll be back in just over a minute. About 30 seconds or so, we'll be back. I'm going to go to the phones. Oh, man, if you're on hold, stand by. The show has flown by today. All right, less than 30 seconds. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marty from North Carolina.
Hey, Marty. What's up, Marty?
If you go Google 2024 Trump campaign, no new wars, you'll get video after video of him saying no new wars.
This is not
Plain
a
simple.
new war.
Okay, well, if we got our hostages back in 444 days after that, and we haven't done anything since, and all the media saying, and of course, everybody's saying we just started the new war how many days ago?
Well, the media is
a new war.
lying. The media is lying. This did not end with the... Slow down for a second. No, I want to talk to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I just said Marty from North Carolina.
Marty from North Carolina. You were talking a little fast. I missed it. Marty from North Carolina. One, the media is lying. The actions that Iran has taken did not end with the release of the American hostages. It's never ended. Okay? They trained Al-Qaeda that attacked us on 9/11. They were behind the USS Cole attack, the Beirut bombing, this recent Gaza war, and they told...
Everybody knows a lot of these were all false flags. Everybody knows. Even 9/11.
When you say it's a false flag, not 9/11, the USS Cole's a false flag. Tell me about that. Let me answer my lines here. My phones are ringing off the hook. The USS Cole's a false flag. Explain that one to me.
Get back on track what we were talking
about.
No,
I'm the host of the show. I decide what we're talking about, not Marty from North Carolina.
You're taking calls to ask people what they think.
I'm not handing the show over to rank. I'm not handing the show over to rank amateurs in the audience. You said
Trump said straight up, no new wars. Google it.
He didn't say.
Google it.
You said these are false flags. Everybody knows it. The USS Cole is a false flag. Iran was behind that.
Okay.
So you don't know about it.
Again, go back to what.
What about the U.S. embassies that were bombed in Africa, the Khobar Towers?
You don't want to handle the truth. He did say, just like in his first campaign, like he said.
What I'm explaining, listen, what I'm explaining to you, Marty, what I'm explaining to you, Marty, is that this is not a new war and you can't deal with it. You just go back and repeat what you began with.
Same thing with you. Same thing with you. You're doing the same thing, Brian. So
no, I haven't brought up the USS Cole in years. I haven't brought up the Cole since it happened.
Says something, it's so convenient when the media says something you like, oh, it's fine. But when it says something you don't like, oh, they're lying. Or
correct.
It's always the same way with you.
Yeah. So what other? So the barrack bombing in 1983, where over 200 American Marines were killed, that's a false flag too.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
Okay.
So explain what's a false flag? What does that mean?
When you do something through deception and deceit to get people to think one thing in order to get your objective going another way.
So all these actions taken by Iran were all false flags. Iran didn't do any of these things. Yeah, you said I gave you a list. Yeah, I gave you a list.
I straight up and started
Marty,
off with the fact
this is not no. I'm the host. I am the host, and I decide what the topics are, not you.
Saying no new war. So yes, he did betray the people with this one, and he did betray the people on the first one. So he's still walking the streets.
All right, dump that one, Mike. We got to hit the dump button again. Talking to a liberal is like talking to a telemarketer with a script. You get them off the script, and all they do is go back to the script. Polly want a cracker. And I use this explanation a lot because it makes sense. A lot of people think parrots can talk. Parrots cannot talk. They can mimic sounds that they hear. So these callers like that guy and some of these others today, what they're doing is mimicking sounds that they heard some liberal make. All right, now while we're waiting for the delay to re-engage, I want to play this clip. If you're on hold, stand by. This is Ana Navarro on CNN this week. and she's talking about Hispanic women. Listen.
Just this last week in Miami, in a place that voted massively for Donald Trump, I heard a Trump supporter crying on TV because his common law wife of 25 years, a Cuban, was deported. And when she went to the immigration check-in, he said to her, "Don't worry about it. They don't deport Cubans." Guess what? Some of these Cubans are being sent to Sudan and Eswatini, if you know where that is. The woman was, it's in Africa. The woman was detained. Initially, what was on her record is that she had been in a traffic stop 20 years ago, and she had 3 Xanax pills in her purse without prescription. You start deporting every Latino without prescriptions, with tranquilizers, there's going to be nobody left.
Okay, did you hear what she said, Anna Navarro? The end of this about the Xanax? Listen to this.
Years ago, and she had 3 Xanax pills in her purse without prescription. You start deporting every Latino without prescriptions, with tranquilizers, there's going to be nobody left.
She just said that all Latinos have illegal prescriptions that they don't have prescriptions for on their person. She says if you start deporting Latinos that have prescription medications they don't have prescriptions for, there'll be no one left. She just said that all Latinos are in possession of illegal prescription medications. Does that include her and her family? A stunning admission by Anna Navarro. Oh my goodness. That she's a bigot. She hates Latinos, even though she is one. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Kimberly. I'm calling from Deerfield Beach.
All right, Kimberly in Deerfield. What's on your mind?
So I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome.
But I'm infuriated. I'm infuriated this morning with these ridiculous people who call in and say Trump promised no new wars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but sometimes circumstances require us to defend our nation.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing up for what is right. If America was attacked, would Trump sit down like liberals and say, "No, sorry, I made a promise, no new wars"?
Iran said they had enough uranium for 11 nuclear weapons, and they have a God-given right to have nuclear weapons. What's he supposed to do? Let them get nukes?
Exactly. But you know what? For the last how many years since the Democrats have been in office, they've sat down and allowed shit to happen.
All right. There's the third one of the day, Mike. Oh, my goodness. Third one of the day. Dump button. Oh, my goodness. Does every radio show have this problem? But you know, the dump button gives me opportunities to share great information from our sponsors, Coastal Weight Loss Secret. You know, I'm getting my clothes together for the cruise, and I have clothes that I only wear once a year. I don't get dressed up during the year. And one thing I don't wear during the year, only on the cruise for the most parts, are undershirts. I don't wear undershirts too much. I mostly wear T-shirts and Hawaiian shirts most of the time, but I don't wear undershirts. But I do on the cruise because we got to get dressed up fancy from time to time. And my undershirts don't fit me because I lost so much weight in the last year from Coastal Weight Loss Secret. They're baggy on me. You need, undershirts, you need to fit well so that, the clothes you wear on top don't look baggy. And my undershirts, my T-shirts, my white T-shirts you wear, they're just too big for me. So I'm going out to buy new T-shirts this weekend, and I'm happy to do so. Losing weight is awesome. You feel great. I was looking at what's that Australian actress that played Barbie? I know who I'm talking about. Have you seen her lately? She's a beautiful woman, but not lately. What's her name? Margot Robbie. And there's speculation that she's on Ozempic or one of those things because her face is all sunken in. Me, I got my chin back, my neck back, my stomach's flat. I look all natural. But because with Coastal Weight Loss Secret, there's no pills and none of those shots. And you can look great and feel great too and lose the weight no matter where you are in the United States. Give them a call and schedule your no-charge consultation right now. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. That's 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlosssecret.com. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. We're up against our top of the hour break. The 8 o'clock hour is next. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are listening. And if you're on hold, hang in there. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. My name is Brian Craig. We'll take our top-of-the-hour break and be right back.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our LuxePure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Are you looking for a love story that will stay with you long after the last page? Then add A Little Longer, available on Amazon, to your must-read list. A Little Longer is the powerful debut novel from author K.L. Bauer. It's an emotional contemporary romance that's raw, beautiful, inspiring, and unforgettable. 3 broken souls, 2 tragic endings, 1 secret that could change everything. In A Little Longer, Joey is haunted by the sudden death of his brother. Poppy is drowning in grief she can't escape, and Otis has stopped searching for a reason to stay. A Little Longer is a heartfelt story about grief, love, friendship, and finding light in the darkest places. It's perfect for fans of emotional contemporary romance. Available now on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. This book is also a great addition to your book club. Order your copy right now, A Little Longer, from author K.L. Bauer, on Amazon.
Okay, we have just over a minute until we're back. Those who say we're in a cult, we're on the side of the majority of the people. Listen to this.
Hey, what's the racial breakdown on this, right? Because I think a lot of people make the argument that people of color, non-white Americans, have a harder time procuring a photo ID to vote. But even here, take a look here. Favorite photo ID to vote. 85% of white people favor it. 82% of Latino. 76% of black Americans favor it. So the bottom line is this. Voter ID is not controversial in this country.
That's right. People are on our side. Look at that. 71% of Democrats support voter ID. We have about 30 seconds and we'll be back. We're still in radio break. So if you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the toll-free number is pinned in the live chat. Stand by. The 8 o'clock hour has begun. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carlos, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Hey, Port St. Lucie. What's on your mind?
Okay, hey, on Marty. Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Marty from North Carolina? Yeah.
Yeah, on Marty from North Carolina. I'm considered to be first generation American. My parents left a far left country, and it's sad that I got to debate an American on this. Why don't he do his homework? The roadside bombs, they've been killing our soldiers for years after 1979 or after 1980 when Reagan stepped in and they handed our people over because a Republican came in with some cojones to get our people back. Why don't he do his homework and see who these roadside bombs, there were 95% of them, over 95% of them came from Iran attacking our soldiers for years. They've been
in fact, let me add on to that. By the way, welcome from Port St. Lucie. Make sure you tell all your Port St. Lucie friends about our radio station, all right?
Yes, this is the best radio station in town.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
It's the best radio station in town.
I heard it the first time. I just wanted to hear it again. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
You got me.
Okay,
Hey,
no, but hold on. I want to add on to what you said. Okay, what you're talking about are the roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan. Anytime you see a Tunnel to Towers or Wounded Warrior commercial, and by the way, my wife and I give monthly to each one, and you should too. Most of those guys are victims of those Iranian roadside bombs. That's why they're missing limbs or part of their bodies are melted off and such. Iran did that.
Yes, Marty doesn't get that. They've been at war with us for another. Hey,
No.
On another day, I'm going to call you in about how Trump is an excellent chess player, and he's got these guys running rapid.
Well, you know,
I sat down and I figured it out.
Well, why don't you just why wait? Tell us now. The suspense is killing me. Tell us now.
Okay. Now you know how he changed the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if he gets confronted, hey, why did you change it to the Gulf of America? He says, because it's surrounded by three countries, Cuba, Mexico, and the United States. What do those three countries have in common? They're all part of the Americas. So I named it the Gulf of America. I could have named it the Gulf of the United States, but I didn't.
Correct. Correct.
He is so advanced. These people are so idiots. You know what, Marty? Keep on listening to MSNBC or whatever it's called now, or CNN. Keep on.
You know what you have? Do you know what you have in common with President Trump that I've learned from this phone call? What do you think you have in common?
We're both from New York, and we know right from wrong.
Okay. Yes. But there's something else you both have in common that most people don't know. At the beginning of the call, you told me that you're a first-generation American. So is President Trump.
That's it.
President Trump's mother is an immigrant from Scotland. He's a first-generation American. And all of the Trump children, except for Tiffany, because Marla Maples is her mother, all Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, Barron, they're all first-generation Americans too, because their mothers are immigrants. So so the entire Trump family, except Tiffany, are first-generation Americans, including the president himself.
Hey, can I say just one quick thing?
Mm-hmm.
Marty's an idiot. All right, thank you, young man.
That's true. Now you're stating the obvious. Yes, he's definitely an idiot. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Mark from New York. How are you, buddy?
What is with this crazed fake smile in your voice? How are you, buddy? You sound nuts.
Hey, I got Jesus in my heart, man. Why
hold on. Slow down.
Are you sad?
Slow down right here. Okay?
Okay.
We can have fun and play around, but I don't play around with people that make fun of Jesus, Christianity, and do those types of things. I give you one warning.
How am I? I'm a Christian. I'm not making fun of anyone.
Okay.
Why would you take that as like sarcasm? I don't understand that. I know you're full of hate. You have so much hate, and it's great to see it. Every day you come on and you just spew all your hatred, and I get it.
What's the most? Yeah, give me. Okay, hold on a second here. Hold on. Every day, give me the most hateful thing that I've said on today's program.
Where you call Democrats demons all the time, half the country.
No, I said today. I said today.
They're evil. You did say that.
Democrats support abortion, which is the death sentence for unborn children. I call that evil. Pam Bondi, Pam Bondi, Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, Kristi Noem, the Secretary of the Army, and Stephen Miller and his pregnant wife are living on military bases, hiding out from liberals, from Democrats. That sounds pretty evil to me.
Good. I feel like government should fear their constituents.
Oh, you think it's good that they're hiding on military bases from your friend? That's evil.
My friends? I haven't heard a single.
I said my friend. I said my friend. You're telling me that four cabinet members fearing for their lives makes you happy? That's evil.
I don't think they're fearing for their lives.
Why do you think they're on? they've tried to the Never Trumpers assassinated Charlie Kirk and shot President Trump in Butler.
I don't think Donald Trump was ever shot. His ear looks just fine. I have friends who have ear injuries, and they don't heal like that, but it's okay. You can pretend like that, that false flag.
Okay,
Your
now that
Trump-
you've established your lack of credibility, what inspired you to call today?
Dude, your Trump arousal syndrome is in full bloom, and I'm so happy for you.
What is Trump? This is nice.
Above God.
What is Trump
I don't
arousal?
like that.
What is Trump arousal syndrome? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, it's what you have when you talk about Trump. You get all flushed.
Well, what are
and you're
the
excited.
symptoms?
He's so manly.
He is a manly man. Yes.
Nothing he could say. You can't question him. That's a cult leader.
I
by the way. If you can't
could question
anything he
him.
does-
I could.
No, you can't. You're not allowed.
Sure.
No, you can't.
Sure.
You know you can't.
Sure.
Are you kidding me?
But
you cannot.
he's
You don't have-
he's
you don't
done
have
he's
critical
done
thought.
nothing that I think is needing to be questioned.
Okay. Well, you gaslight your audience and you say, "Oh, this is the war that we needed to finish." He was derelict for his first 3 years in office. That's kind of crazy that you admit that. So, but the question, you say prices are down everywhere. Your viewers know they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You do know that, right?
Well,
So when they go to the store, they
gasoline,
see
gas
higher
companies,
prices.
the oil companies are price gouging us now and raising the prices. That is correct. Yes.
Well, I'm sad that your dear leader doesn't fix that. Why doesn't he go out there and fix that?
Because the
He doesn't
president
care about America.
the president of the
doesn't care.
United States
He doesn't care.
Excuse me. The president of the United States, you think has the authority to tell individual business owners what to price their goods at?
Why doesn't he get his buddies together and tell them to knock it off? Because he can't. He doesn't have any power.
How do gas stations determine their price per gallon?
Magic, I guess. Go ahead and tell me.
You go out and change the sign. You can sell your gas for whatever you want.
Right. So every gas station
What's
in
with
America
the fake
is
laugh?
colluding against Donald Trump.
Well, they're using the
I'm
war.
trying to
Yes.
make you feel better. 'Cause
Yes.
You sound like an idiot.
They
I'm
are
trying to make
they
you
are
feel better.
raising their
You sound
prices.
stupid.
They're raising their prices.
Yep.
And using the war with Iran as an excuse. Yes. Like I give you an
Okay,
example
so oil prices going up.
I think it was over the weekend. I live stream on YouTube on the weekends and stuff. And it was either Saturday or it was either yes you do. It was either Saturday or Sunday. Of course you do. You're watching me on YouTube now in New York. You already told me that. Right? Give me a break.
Well, I'm driving. I wouldn't watch you.
You
on
said
my free
watching.
time.
You said
But go ahead.
watching. But anyway, it was either Saturday or
You're on YouTube on my phone.
Yeah.
While I'm driving
Okay, so
down
you know-
the road.
and you got- and
I
you-
don't have the screen on.
I didn't say you're watching now, but you referenced YouTube earlier, and everybody that watches me on YouTube knows I live stream all the time, including the weekends. It was either Saturday or Sunday morning, and I live streamed. It was around 5 a.m., and all the gas stations were just over $3, except one was under $3. I talked about this because it was not open yet. And I said as soon as they open, they'll raise it. The gas station owners have raised their prices on their own. The gas in their tanks was refined with oil bought long before this, and it didn't come from Iran anyway. So they're raising their prices and blaming the war. That's how gas stations can sell their gas for whatever they want.
Yeah, I agree with you. Except
okay, so you agree that you agree with me that
No.
President Trump's not responsible for the gas stations raising their prices. On that note, appreciate the call. We'll take our first break of the hour. Hold on, let me look at my schedule here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh yes, let me tell you about Friendly Tire in Margate. Friendly Tire in Margate. You can get new tires for as low as $75 a tire. That is out the door and on the road. Remember, Friendly Tire in Margate doesn't charge you to balance your tire, mount your tire, or dispose of your old tires. And that as low as $75 out the door and on the road on brand new tires at Friendly Tire. That's on common sizes on some of the most popular vehicles on the road today. He has thousands of good used tires in stock for as low as $35 a tire, and that's out the door and on the road too. Give Friendly Tire a call. Friendly Mike will give you a quote right over the phone, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. That's 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire. We'll be right back. Hang in there, guys. We're in radio break right now. Okay, hold on.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
All right, it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, what do you have for us today?
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Hey.
Well, we all have dreams, and a big part of estate planning is helping make people's dreams come true. And today is actually National Dream Day. And National Dream Day celebrates pursuing your dreams and building the future that you want. Something people don't think about, if you've spent your whole life building something for your family, you should also have a plan to protect it. That's what estate planning is really about. Everyone talks about chasing their dream, but most people forget one important step: protecting those dreams. So, we all work our whole life building something. We have our home, retirement savings, and we want to build a family legacy. Without an estate plan, the Florida statutes and a judge, not the family, often decide what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
So chasing your dreams is important, but protecting your family's future is even more important. So National Dream Day, make sure you protect your dreams.
That's good advice. And I think about, when I think about what you do, helping people avoid probate and all of that, I think about people, they spend so much of their life, going to the early birds, scrimping and saving so they can leave a legacy to their family. And then if their estate goes through probate, all that sacrifice goes to legal fees and probate, right, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, and you make an interesting point. People do, they'll do the early bird and all those things to save some money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then also, people will try to do that when it comes to even doing their estate planning, trying to go online and try to find a cheap way to, just so they could end up saying, I have a will, and they think they have it done properly, and they may or may not. I mean, look at, like you brought it up the other day with Gene Hackman.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy who had an estate of over $80 million, and all he had was a simple will,
Insane.
Only naming his wife, no backups. And I mean, he probably didn't spend very much on that estate plan, because look at what it's doing now. Now it's going to go to court, and there's going to be all kinds of battles, which is exactly what people are looking to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he wouldn't have been happy if he had known what would have happened, so, because it was a sloppy, insufficient estate plan.
Well, a lot of people, I'm not necessarily saying this of Gene Hackman, but a lot of people that have money to leave to their children, they get a simple will or something, which is insane for all the reasons you talk about. But they like to. A lot of times they use the money to control their family. A lot of people talk about this. Well, when it comes to a revocable living trust, you have the most control over your money in your estate with a revocable living trust, as opposed to a simple will, right?
Well, while you're alive and well, either way, you really have control.
Exactly.
You keep control of it, but the trust allows you to have people in place of your choosing.
Yes.
In case you become incapacitated, your successor trustee could step right in.
Yep.
The will does not provide that because it only becomes effective at death. And it also allows you to have your successor trustees come right in at the time of your death. So no court involvement, makes things quick and easy and inexpensive.
Yeah. Listen, guys, give the Siegel Law Group a call. Make sure you tell them that you heard me talking with Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio, so you can take advantage of that no-charge in-office consultation. Here's the number, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. And online, SiegelLawGroup.com. And Siegel is S-I-E-G-E-L. SiegelLawGroup.com. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk soon.
All right, thank you, Brian. Take care.
All right, take care. All right, those of you who want to hold standby, this is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. My name is Brian Craig, and our number is toll-free, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, this is Joan from Tampa Bay. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm always well, Joan. How are you?
I can't complain. The last guy I heard, he was talking about oil prices.
Yes.
Well, when this first shebangy started to happen, yeah, it's a market, and the markets went crazy, right?
Yes.
It went crazy. It put barrels up to like $120 some odd dollars a barrel, right?
Yes.
But the thing is, he's got the Navy in there now, and I hear we're actually insuring these boats to go through, so the Navy's watching. There was a big bottleneck. I mean, you can actually watch the shipping news.
Yes.
And there was a big bottleneck when this all started, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually watch. Well, guess what? The bottleneck is gone, and it's gone down over $50 a barrel.
And not only that, I mean, I mentioned this yesterday on the program. President Trump did something I've never heard a president do. And you referenced it, but I want to highlight it a little bit more. President Trump said that under his authority, the United States government will insure, with the good faith and credit of the United States, any oil tanker that goes through the region. So if something happens to your tanker, President Trump's going to cover everything, not just the oil, but the tanker itself. That's a lot. Can you imagine how much those things cost, those super tankers? Oh, my goodness.
He's putting Lloyd's of London out of business.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's true. That's right. That's right. You don't. Yeah, that's right. You can skip this month's payment to Lloyd's of London.
But yeah, so much for that. But you know what? Yeah, maybe they have to go to military bases. People of the cabinet and such. But you know what? Those bases are nice. Have you ever been on a base?
But that's not the point that they're nice. It's the point that they have to do it, and they're not hiding from the Iranians because they've been doing this for about 6 months. Pam Bondi just joined them this week. That's why it's back in the news. So so they've been hiding out on the bases under protection from the liberals and the never-Trumpers.
Yeah. But you know what? They are very nice. I come from a military family. I've been to many military bases.
Oh, yeah.
I go shopping.
Yeah, and wherever Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and all of them are staying is nicer than the parts of the base you've been to. They're staying where the generals and admirals stay.
Yeah. Well, like when my son, when I visited him on some bases, and I got like the temporary housing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, living room, dining room, kitchen thing. It was gorgeous. It was very nice. And they had an outside barbecue area.
Oh, that's nice.
Subway.
Well, listen, I appreciate it, Joan. You make some good points, and the bases are nice. Yes. All right. Our number is 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
George, Florida.
George, Florida is your name? Your last name's Florida? You're George in Florida or George, Florida?
Georgia in Florida, George State, Florida.
I hear you. I'm just teasing. What's up, George from Florida? I'm Brian in Florida.
I just want to let all the liberals, these knucklehead liberals, and that guy in North Carolina,
yes, Marty,
know that a war is boots on the ground. There is no boots. I support this whole totally. You know, they need to be wiped off. Well, maybe not everybody, but we need to bomb all the nuclear places. Okay, I'm all for that. But now they're boots on the ground. That's a problem. But there is no boot. A real war is boots on the ground. There are no boots for the uneducated out there.
Okay.
They're called in. And I will say, I was in a Wawa's earlier, and I yelled out, Venezuela, the gas prices will come down. We get the gas from Venezuela. We got Alaska, Texas. The prices would get down to $2. I know that's wishful thinking, but I think it could happen. Venezuela.
It could. Where in Florida are you?
Lakeland.
All right, Lakeland. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Georgia in Lakeland, Florida. All right, the phones are ringing off the hook. Yeah, we got time for some more. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Me?
Sounds like you.
Oh, hey, how's it going? My name is Buddy. I'm calling from here in beautiful South Carolina. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I called in because of your hat, to be honest. I think it's dumb. But other than that,
my Trump 2028 hat? You think it's dumb?
Specifically the 2028 part.
What's dumb about it?
I think there's no chance that Trump wins the 2028 election, even if there is a legal path for him to run, which I believe there is not.
Well, okay.
That's why I think it's dumb. I think it's pushing a false narrative. I think the idea that Trump could win in 2028 is, one, irrational, but two, also...
I support Trump in 2032, 36, 40, 44, 48.
Why though?
Because he's the greatest president. He is the greatest president this country has ever had since General Washington.
I disagree. I think George Washington was the greatest president.
I said since George Washington. I said since George Washington.
Well, let me put it this way.
Other than George Washington, who's been greater? Who's been greater? Other than George Washington?
Possibly Reagan, but I wasn't born yet, so I wouldn't know.
Well, give me an example of something he did that's greater than anything Trump has done.
Trump deregulated the airline industry.
Oh, really?
Really?
Have you seen how tiny the seats are now and all this fighting going on? No, that was bad news.
Yes.
Back in before deregulation,
no, I think it was good news.
Before deregulation, it was nice. But hold on a second. I said greater than something Trump has done. So you mean to tell me? Let's think about this now. I asked you to give me an example of something he did greater than Trump. Airline deregulation is greater than overturning Roe v. Wade and saving millions of lives from abortuaries.
Well, that's a false equivalency. But I didn't say
President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. Millions of people will live because of that. Many millions forever.
I agree.
So you're telling me that what president has done something greater than that?
George Washington.
What did he do? What did he do? He didn't set a 2-term limit. There weren't 2 terms as a limit when he left.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He didn't, but the people around, yes, he did.
We didn't have term limits. We did not have term limits. When were term limits enacted for presidents?
It was a tradition after FDR. It was a tradition after George Washington and every president
until FDR.
We didn't even need an amendment.
Who cares about traditions?
A country just worked.
It used to be tradition. Yeah.
I'm an American, a proud patriot.
Really? So
I
tradition.
voted for Trump twice,
Okay,
by the
so
way,
you're
I
all
don't
about
dislike Trump.
tradition. It used to be tradition.
And history.
Excuse me. It used to be tradition that you could only marry someone of the opposite sex. Now the same-sex people broke that tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So are you against gay marriage?
Well,
You're against
no,
gay
I'm not
marriage?
against gay marriage.
Well,
I'm-
it was a
I'm
tradition
too
for a
young
long
for that.
time that only people of the opposite sex could get married. That was a tradition for a long time.
That's true.
It was also
That's true,
it was
but
also a
that's before my
tradition,
time.
excuse me, it was also a tradition that black and white people could not get married. Do you support that tradition?
Yeah, that sucks. No, not at all.
Okay.
I think that's horrible.
So you're really not a traditionalist.
No, I am a traditionalist.
No.
I just don't hold every tradition in my heart of hearts.
Oh, okay. You just have certain traditions.
Well, of course, as every other human being does. You
Well, no,
you
you're the
as
one.
well.
You're the
Sure,
one
your
that said
family
that you
has
stand
family
up for
traditions.
American tradition.
I do.
Well, I just gave a couple that you didn't. So you can't think
No,
of any.
well,
so what did George
thinking
Washington do?
once.
What did George Washington do that was greater than than Trump overturning Roe v.
He
Wade?
started America. He started the United States of America. He crossed the Delaware and won the war.
He crossed the Delaware and won the war.
I don't know my history that perfectly. But
You don't know
that
the
was a
history?
turning point
You don't
in
know the
war,
history?
From what I understand.
Yeah, so you're just
I
quoting
know the
me
history, just not
Schoolhouse
that well.
Rock.
No. From what I understand,
Shot
the
her
war
around the
kind of
world.
had a shift during that winter.
The war had a shift during that
That's
winter.
a Christmas tradition.
Yeah, what was the defining
Yeah,
moment that
it's
won the
Christmas
American?
tradition.
Tell me about the defining moment that won the American Revolution.
Well, this is where I'm kind of speculating because I wasn't there.
Okay, you don't
I
know.
think
You weren't there.
honestly
You
it was
weren't
when-
there. Yeah, well, I wasn't either, but I've read a book. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. It's the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man. You know, we've got our 10th annual cruise coming up, and I got to tell you, here we are. It's March. Spring break time. If you're here in South Florida, the spring breakers are here, aren't they? Oh, yeah, they're getting here. They're in Miami. They're in South Beach. But spring break and summer vacation time is here. And, before you go on a vacation, it's a very good idea to go over to Life Imaging FLA and have the heart scan. It really is. Make sure you are in tip-top condition before you travel. A lot of people do this, and you should too. Life Imaging FLA have locations in Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach County. Call Life Imaging FLA for your free heart scan now with a few minimum requirements valued at $699. From your cell phone, call pound 250 and say free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds. That's pound 250. Just say free heart scan and you'll be connected in seconds. We'll be right back. On the line, we have Lewis. He had some issues with some taxes in past years, and he called Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax, and Jamie took good care of him. Lewis, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. So tell me how Jamie from Swift Tax helped you on your taxes.
I was having trouble with another company. I called Jamie, and the next day I brought my wife in there with all the paperwork, and he straightened all my back taxes out, and I'm actually getting money back now.
Wow, this is pretty amazing. So this other company you went to told you you owed the government money, and Jamie over at Swift Tax took a look and found out that not only did you not owe money, you're getting money back from the government?
Yes, I got nice big checks coming soon.
Do what Lewis did. Call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587.
Have you been looking for a smarter way to save money and make money with the things you already own? You can do just that with Rentology, the marketplace where neighbors rent, lend, and share everyday items. Think about all the things you buy, but you rarely use. A bike for that sunny weekend, camping gear for that one trip a year, a power washer that sits in the garage and never gets used. With Rentology, you can simply rent what you need when you need it and save money without adding more clutter to your home. And if you've got gear sitting around around collecting dust? Why not turn it into extra income? With Rentology, you can list your items, connect with people in your community, and start earning from the things you already own. It's simple to use, too. Just go to the website, Rentology.com. That's RENTOLOGIE. Browse items near you, book online, meet locally, and share the experience. Rentology helps you save money, earn extra income, reduce waste, and connect with people who share your interest. Rent, lend, share, do more with less. Sign up right now. It's free at Rentology.com. RENTOLOGIE. That's Rentology.com.
All right, we'll be back in about 40 seconds. We're still in radio station break. Okay, if you're on hold, hang in there. About 30 seconds and we'll be back. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free and is pinned in the live chat, all right? 888-465-2631. Yep, Lakeland, Florida. 10 seconds. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Jay from Jersey.
Oh, hey, Jay.
Yeah, heard you and Richie today. Don't get it twisted. Just because I let you and Steve play around a little bit, and I played around, don't get it twisted till I'm weak at all. And Richie needs to change his diaper. That's what I got to say about that. Y'all seem to think, oh, well, let me ask you a question. Who do you think is the problem or started all of this racial divide as we are experiencing this time in our lives? Who do you think started it, and why do you think it's so bad right now?
There is no racial divide that's so bad in this country right now.
Oh, yeah, there is. Don't you?
Yeah, I got news for you, okay? I got news for you, Jay from Jersey. Most people probably don't like you, and it's not because you're black. It's because you're not a nice person.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Y'all are not nice people. That's why it's so much divide.
Who's not?
MAGA.
Okay.
Did you see the whole world hates MAGA?
Where's the racial divide you're talking about? Give an example of this.
Oh my God. We're over there killing a whole nother country right now, and you don't see it. You're happy about it.
No, you said the racial divide. Where is this racial divide? You're talking about Iran? That's not a racial divide. We're liberating Iran and giving Iran to Iranians to govern.
You lied about that Tomahawk missile. There was 4 spots in that area that they hit that had to do with their government, and that missiles were going there. It was 4 targets in that area.
You believe that the United States, excuse me, you believe that the United States let me ask the question. Hold on. This is a good question. You believe that the United States targeted that school and hit it on purpose and killed children?
Okay, can I answer it without you interrupting me? There was 4 targets in that area. 4. No, 3. And because they was hitting those 3, made it hit that school. Can't you see that? Why don't you look at
I asked you, do you believe that the United States targeted that school and killed those children on purpose? Yes or no?
Weren't they the ones shooting off the missiles?
Well, if it was a U.S. Tomahawk, if it was, and we don't know, if it was, it would have been an accident, right? We don't target children in schools.
Of course, it would have been an accident. But if we weren't shooting off rockets
big difference.
In the first place,
big difference.
It wouldn't have happened.
Big difference.
But listen, if we weren't shooting off rockets, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. And this is another thing you're ignoring. Do you know just because there's only 8 people that have passed away, do you know it's hundreds?
You know, there's cause and effect. If George Floyd wasn't passing around counterfeit money and high on drugs, he wouldn't have gotten killed. I mean, there's cause and effect.
That was a little racial thing. You stuck up.
Not racial. It's not racial.
Yeah, it was racial.
No.
Yeah, it was racial.
No.
Because you had to go to George Floyd.
Well, I gave an example. You believe that an accident is what? So if it was our missile, you believe it was an accident, correct?
You realize this war is not an accident. Do you realize what this is going to do to the United States?
Make us safer?
Realize.
Make us safer?
Oh, you and Richie are just two dumb, stupid idiots. Do you not realize this is going to destroy us?
It's going to what?
It's going to destroy us.
What's your favorite show on television? Other than the news, what do you like on television? The View? What's your favorite show?
Love The View. Yeah,
I figured. That says a lot about you. You love The View?
I love The View, and I actually listen to you.
Well, you
got to hear the other side of the crazy. You got to.
Oh, so you think they're crazy on The View? You think they're crazy on The View?
Y'all are the crazy. I listen to you because y'all are the crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are the crazy. You and Richie are too crazy.
I just don't know many. I don't know many men that say that they love The View. You know, The View is a show. Do you know The View? Do you know what the title of The View means?
Don't care.
The View, what it means. Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, no, you say you love it. The View. The View means the name The View. It means the view of women. I've never known a man who says they love The View. I don't get that. What kind of man loves the
I love
View?
their opinions. I love their opinions. They're right on.
Oh, really?
Right on point.
Anna Navarro said that. I played a clip earlier. Anna Navarro, who's on The View, said all Hispanic people have illegal drugs on their possession. You agree and love that opinion?
Did you hear the opinion that Trump made about the Spanish people? How they're all nothing but robbers, killers, and murderers?
That's not true. He didn't say that. That's not what he said. He was talking about illegal immigrants. He said they're sending us killers and thieves. He didn't say all Hispanic people. I played the clip earlier. Anna Navarro said that if you deported all Latinos that had illegal drugs on their possession, there'd be no one left. That's what she said. I'm going to play it again after I'm done talking to you. Yeah, and she's on The View. So you love that opinion? That sounds like bigotry. Isn't that bigotry?
Do you realize that the Hispanics are selling all those drugs?
Oh, okay. That sounds like racism. All right, Jay from Jersey. Oh boy. Yeah, let me play this. This is Anna Navarro from The View. She was on CNN this week. Listen.
Just this last week in Miami, in a place that voted massively for Donald Trump, I heard a Trump supporter crying on TV because his common law wife of 25 years, a Cuban, was deported. And when she went to the immigration check-in, he said to her, "Don't worry about it. They don't deport Cubans." Guess what? Some of these Cubans are being sent to Sudan and Eswatini, if you know where that is. The woman was, it's in Africa. The woman was detained. Initially, what was on her record is that she had been in a traffic stop 20 years ago, and she had 3 Xanax pills in her purse without prescription. You start deporting every Latino without prescriptions, with tranquilizers, there's going to be nobody left.
Okay, hear what she said? If you start deporting Latinos that have illegal drugs without prescriptions, there'll be nobody left. Anna Navarro said all Latinos, which covers both the men and women in the United States, are in possession of illegal drugs. Holy smokes. Is that bigotry? Is that racism? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Richie from Brooklyn.
Okay, Richie from Brooklyn. What say you?
Say you what? I just want to make sure you understand. When you said about Trump passing Roe versus Wade, there was Mitch McConnell.
No.
Who did that?
No, it's not.
Yes, Mitch McConnell.
Tell me how he did that. How did Mitch McConnell overturn... Excuse me. How did Mitch McConnell overturn Roe v. Wade? Brooklyn.
Who turned it?
No.
Trump's pick? Was it Trump's
okay,
pick?
all right. There we go. That's the 4th dump of the day, Mike. 4th dump of the day, Mike. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. Let's take our break. We'll come back with the Gold Report. Callers on hold, stand by. as we await the delay to rebuild. Out of, the button that gets the most use at our radio station is, well, the on and off mic for the microphone, right? Because I got to turn my mic on and off. But after that, it's that dump button. Oh, boy. Okay, let's take our break. I'm Brian. Steve Kane Show back after this. Oh, boy.
Have you been looking for a smarter way to save money and make money with the things you already own? You can do just that with Rentology, the marketplace where neighbors rent, lend, and share everyday items. Think about all the things you buy, but you rarely use. A bike for that sunny weekend, camping gear for that one trip a year, a power washer that sits in the garage and never gets used. With Rentology, you can simply rent what you need when you need it and save money without adding more clutter to your home. And if you've got gear sitting around collecting dust, why not turn it into extra income? With Rentology, you can list your items, connect with people in your community, and start earning from the things you already own. It's simple to use too. Just go to the website Rentology.com. That's Rentologie. Browse items near you, book online, meet locally, and share the experience. Rentology helps you save money, earn extra income, reduce waste, and connect with people who share your interest. Rent, lend, share. Do more with less. Sign up right now. It's free at Rentologie.com. Rentologie. That's Rentologie.com.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, how the metals looking?
The metals looking somewhat firm after a nice rally yesterday for gold, silver, and platinum. Yesterday we saw gold trade in a range of $5,719 on the low, or 51.19 to 52.39. And close out the day at $5,190.30 on gold. That was up $54.30. Silver was up $1.30, closing out the day at $88.19 the ounce. That getting silver again getting up to that $90 number yesterday, and then pulling back again. So we still can't quite get through that $90 number and stay above. Gold or platinum closed up $14 at $2,190. Palladium closed down $29 at $1,643. Overnight, we saw gold trade in a range of $5,172 up to $5,224. And right now, gold's at $5,179. That's down $11.30. Silver, $86 right now, down $2.19. Platinum down $9 at $2,181 the ounce. And palladium down $33 at $1,610. So gold staying nicely above $5,000. Silver hanging in those 80 numbers, trading in a range between $80 and $90 an ounce. So there's some good stability there for the metals, building a very strong base at around these numbers. This is very indicative of a market that has the potential to go much higher.
Oh, yeah.
In previous years, when we saw silver get up to $50, it lasted a day or two, if that, and then it came right back down. This has not been the case with our markets this time. We have held well above the previous highs that were set back in 2011, 2008, those years when things were very crazy, but the markets couldn't hold those levels. This time the market is holding it. Of course, we got up to 120, but that being said, the key is that we have been able to hold well above that $50 number.
You know, with these prices are just amazing. And, you know, we all have our favorites when it comes to the metals. You know, in silver, you know, like one of my favorites are the 10-ounce silver bars, because it's all, no matter what the price is, it's easy to do the math. just multiply by 10, right? But what are some of the, when it comes to silver right now in the bar form, what are some of the most popular things people are coming in for, and what are you recommending people pick up the most?
Well, of course, all the bars are very popular. 1 ounce bars, 1 ounce rounds, 10 ounce bars, and of course the 100 ounce bars. And the kilo bars, for that fact, that people like those also.
Yeah, I like the kilo bars are really nice.
They're good look. They're nice, and they're not as big as getting a 100 ounce bar. But the other thing that we're still recommending is that the 90% silver coins are at a bargain level, and it's easy to figure. For every $1.40, for $1.40 in face value in dimes, quarters, or half dollars, $1.40 is equal to 1 ounce of pure silver, and you can buy the 90% silver coins from us for $5 under the price of silver. So you're actually buying the silver at a huge discount, and you're getting it in a smaller format, and it's easy to calculate. You just know that for every $1.40, you've got 1 ounce of pure silver.
That's amazing. So every $1.40 face value of 90% silver is an ounce of silver. It's $5 under the price of silver. And the thing about 90% has always been one of my favorites because it's a lot of fun because I like it I like the Ben Franklin, you got your Franklins, you got your half dollars, you got your quarters, you got your dimes. And a lot of guys I know, they do it by the box, right? They'll have a box of quarters, a box of half dollars, a box of dimes. But that's a great deal. I mean, that's amazing. And those of you that are familiar with 90% silver, you understand right there the value of that. I mean, you're getting silver for less than the price of silver. And it's still an ounce of silver every $1.40 face value.
That's right.
That's right. So, guys, listen, give William Youngerman a call or stop in, right? His address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Give him a call, toll free. Again, he opens up at 10 a.m., 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010. And online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow.
Okay, have a great day.
All right, take care.
You.
Oh, man, that 90% silver, I love that stuff. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, Tom from Florida. How are you today?
Oh, hey, Tom. Doing well. How are you?
Doing not that great, buddy. Unfortunately, I have to deal with waking up and hearing this president who basically lied to the American people every day why we're in the situation that we're in. So no new wars, right? How are we doing with that?
It's so interesting. I talking to liberals, and I'm talking to the audience. Tom. I'm talking to the audience, not you. I'm talking to the audience about you. So just pretend you're not here, okay? Just hang out in the background, okay? I'm sure you're used to being in the background. Every liberal caller who has called me today has had the same talking point. Trump said no new wars, and he brought us a new war. What Trump said was excuse me, every single liberal caller has said the same thing. He said no new wars, and this is not, and no forever wars, and this is not a new war, and he's ending a forever war.
What do you think about Trump playing golf more than he's done with the presidency? What do you think about that?
I think that's not true.
I think it is. And let me ask you another quick question.
No, you can't. I mean, you just throw things out, I respond. But if you guys notice that, every single liberal that's called today has had the same talking point. Isn't that something? It's almost like they don't think for themselves. Polly want a cracker. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. JJ from Ash.
Hey, Jay. Hold on, JJ. I got to talk about Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Those of you watching me on YouTube right now, I'm wearing one of my favorite MAGA shirts. It says, MAGA, never surrender. And if you're watching me on YouTube, this shirt is baggy on. I don't know how many sizes this shirt is, too big for me. When I got this shirt, it was tight on my body. It was tight. And now it's baggy. I could wear this almost as a night shirt. It's so baggy. And it's because I've lost so much weight from Coastal Weight Loss Secret, in particular in my stomach. I was realizing, JJ, I was starting to get partially obstructed view. I saw a photograph that Well, yeah, exactly. Partially obstructed view, and you don't want those seats. Those suck. You know, a listener that I met at the Attorney Barry Siegel workshop I went to at the Spanish River Library had a picture of me, and I might message her and ask her to delete it, and I'll meet her and take a different picture. I could see my belly was there. My belly's flat, and I would buy shirts that had room for the belly. So all these shirts I have are just too big for me now, and it's awesome. Guys, call Coastal Weight Loss Secret. Go over there. By the way, no matter where you're located in the world, they can help you lose weight. If you're local, go in person, but you don't have to. Even if you're local, you can lose the weight and keep it off too. 561-247-6300. 561-247-6300. And online, coastalweightlossecret.com. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Brian. Well, you look good. I'll say that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blame Coastal Weight Loss. You can blame them for it because you look like. I once said to you, young man. I said, young man, way back when I first called in, and you said, young man, wait a minute. And now you look like a young man, so you can blame them.
Taking some age off of me, yes.
Exactly. You do. It does. Quite frankly.
Yeah, it does.
So my point today what I was going to bring up was that it's sort of a question, really. Do you live in reality or the media fake narrative with regard to the Iran war?
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like an IQ test. And if you think Trump started this war, let me tell you, you failed the test. Okay, reality is not. You don't live in reality, because Trump though lives in reality. Trump is a live in the moment man. He's a fix the problem guy. And when you look at what these people have done, I mean, the U.S. Embassy, Beirut, Argentina, they've attacked everywhere. Our troops, even now in the U.S., these people are crazy. And Trump is not somebody, he's not a kicker of cans, okay? Trump, there's no cans going down the damn road with him. He crushes cans. These people, if you haven't figured it out yet, another IQ test here, these people are crazy. They're psychotic people. It's a theocratic, they're radical Muslims, Islamists. I mean, they're crazed. And if these guys had their hands, if they got a hold of a nuclear weapon, we are definitely in it. This is an
they see it when they told Jared Kushner and was it with Witkoff he was with Kushner?
I think so.
When he told Witkoff and Jared, we have enough uranium for 11 nuclear weapons, and we have a manifest right, a God-given right to have nuclear weapons. That was it. They called up Trump. Trump said, "That's it. These people are crazy." They were trying to wait till the next president and start the whole process over again. This is crazy.
Now, here's the difference too, Brian. If you look at, to understand the mental acuity of these people and their stability. I mean, Russia having nuclear weapons, China having nuclear weapons, Israel, whoever, us. We want to live. Okay, we value life. We want to live. The Russians, they want to live. China, they're communists, but they still want to live. These theocratic, these Islamists, they think they're going to get 72 whatever. I don't know if it's goats, whatever the hell they're going to get. They're crazy. They think dying. They don't value life, and they have done horrific things to their own people. They're dancing in the streets right now all over the world. It's like the damn song from the 80s or the 90s, dancing in the streets, raising money. Whoever wrote that song. I
think it was Dancing on the Ceiling with Lionel Richie. Dancing in the Sheets sounds familiar too. Who was that?
Dancing in the Streets. I think it was a Live Aid. I think it was a
Dancing on the Ceiling was Lionel Richie. Dancing in
the
Sheets.
But they were dancing.
Yes.
The whole video was basically that everybody was just dancing. And all over the world, Iranians who have left that pit of hell that these people created, these religious zealots, they're getting rid of these people. It was sort of like, we either take care of it now. It's one of those pay me now or pay me later things. Because the pay me later it's an existential threat.
Well, listen, I'm almost out of time. I got to run because there's something I do have to share before we go. All right, but I appreciate the call. I only have seconds left. I wanted to get to this earlier, but I haven't. This is Abby Phillips on CNN. Let me play this real quick.
2 Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani, and the House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing really to condemn those comments.
Okay, so Abby Phillips on CNN said that these Muslim terrorists for ISIS in New York City that they were making an attempt against the Muslim mayor of New York City. That doesn't even pass what Steve refers to oftentimes as the smile test. CNN is getting so much blowback from this. Abby Phillips may find herself off the air soon over this. I mean, this is crazy. That's either 100% gaslighting, propaganda, or just plain stupidity. Right? That was an Islamic terror attack in New York City. And why would Muslims be attacking the Muslim mayor and his Muslim wife at their Muslim Ramadan event with the Muslim from Syria, from Colombia over there? It makes no sense whatsoever. CNN, shame on you. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. taking your calls live. All right? My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 49 years on the radio. We've had some really great calls today, but didn't you hear every liberal called in with the same words, different voices, same talking points? And they all thought they had something, huh? Well, they didn't. My name is Brian Craig. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. God bless America, and God bless our favorite president, Donald Trump. See you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Take care. All right, we're clear. Hey, before you go, please subscribe if you're new. And if you're already subscribed, please like the video, guys. Liking the video helps grow the channel a lot. So please like the video. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Patrice from Lake Clark Shores.
All right, what's up?
Okay, I was in France the weekend where the war started with Iran.
Okay.
The Israeli found out Saturday afternoon that the Khomeini will have in the evening a meeting with his wife and 42 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And at night, they bombed that and several other places to distract. The Americans, we did start bombing early in the morning. And the Iranians, Sunday morning, they were reporting that a bomb hit the school.
Mm-hmm.
May I remind everybody that this is a real war, like in World War II.
Yes.
I don't think Hitler minded bombing schools in England, and I don't think we did mind bombing schools in Germany. Okay? That's war. In war, everybody dies. Kids, babies, everything.
Sadly.
That's war.
And as a Frenchman, you know that all too well.
Oh, yes. And the French TV was announcing that, and the French TV they could not be anybody else than Israel. You know, we didn't start until the early morning.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, that's what it is.
Well, listen,
you can check it out.
Well, listen, I appreciate that, and welcome to the program, and call me again sometime.
Well, you know me because I send you several letters. And
oh
everything,
yeah. I've met you before. I met you at Attorney Barry Siegel's office.
Correct.
Yeah, I remember you.
Who I am.
I am. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Okay, very good. Bye.
All right, you take care. He went to one of Barry Siegel's workshops. How could I not forget a Frenchman like that? Again, guys, please make sure you like the video before you go. Liking the video helps get the video shown to people that have not yet found the channel, and it helps grow the channel and grow the community and grow the audience. And liking the video helps a lot. And if you have the hype feature available after you like the video, if you do that too, that's awesome too. All right, guys, I'll see you this afternoon. All right, my name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for watching.